Hello, we should be live now. Let's double check. Did this work on YouTube right away? Should now. Didn't have to click a button. Yes, it did. Lovely. Clicking the extra button in my settings is simplified things. Quite a bit. Right. So, Twitch, YouTube, got the ads running. Make an announcement that we're live. And hello, Epic Sea Dragon. Hello, Atomic. And Victor, hello, hello. Hello's back. And let's see. This YouTube link copy and pasted. And there we are. Great. Let's see, we have the draft, we have the Rex. Now I should change the title on YouTube. Get that set up properly. Running versus Masty. We got 3 sets to cast. We have Running versus Masty, FreakinAndy versus WaRRioR, and Barles versus Shulk. Here we are. Load my save games and we're good. Hello 11, hello Victor, Atomic, Epic. And Stream Element spot. I need to remove that Stream Element spot. Guess it's not causing any harm saying when I'm live. So, hello everyone, and let me tell Masty the strategies. I'm casting a set right now if you want to look for strategies. Perfect. Alright, so I think the ads on Twitch are finished. Yep, they look good. We got the pre-rolls off for the next hour or so. So welcome everyone. We're going to cast 3 sets today. We're going to start with Masty versus Running, and we'll get started. And right away, these players have picked colors. Ooh, we got lots of color pickers for all these sets. Let's see, capture age there. Let's go, 3 sets, yes. See, I might speed up the dark gauges just a bit throughout these sets, just so I'm not staying up too long. If we get like 3 hours per set, then we're done by 11. I can go to bed. Anyway, we will have Running here. He'll be as the purple Huns. The Huns. The very first pick he goes for in this tournament is the Huns. Not a very close map civ, but that might be why he's playing him in the first round. He'll have his wonder over here, and they do indeed have a gate on Huns, 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 Huns. Do I smell Tarkans, says Masty. Masty, who has his wonder there, maybe allergic to the smell of Tarkans. Masty will be as the yellow Khmer. So Running taking the blood of the Hun color. Make sure my YouTube chat's visible. So YouTube. My Grudiness. Of course, it's Khmer. Castle Age Wonder Rush incoming. Well, let's see. I mean, that could be a good strategy for this map. Tarkins to snipe the Wonder. The problem with the Huns is they can't chop through. Right? Because they can't, they can only do trebs. They don't have onagers. So no onager cut Tarkins. Could do a ram push Tarkins. Could do a treb cut for Tarkins. But Tarkins might struggle. Might struggle a bit. City walls have a lot of armor. I don't even know. I mean, 24 building armor. Tarkins might not even get any attack bonus against them. So I'm not sure what they're going to do there. I have a cow here running. We'll take that. Also, I have my coffee ready for this evening. Because I figured if I'm casting 3 sets, I will probably need some coffee to stay alive. You have to keep the Wonder alive. Yes, indeed, Epic. Yes, indeed. Have to keep the Wonder alive. It is sudden death, but with a Wonder. Which is kind of cool, because it has a bit more HP than the town center. And this map gives the dynamic that the Wonder is kind of far away. And this Dino, thank you very much for the raid on Twitch. Welcome, welcome everyone. I know this is a bit later in the day than we usually cast, but hopefully it's nice to have something going down in the evenings. I also need to check, does anyone see? Still streaming the stream? Oh, nice. Hello, pandas. And enjoy on YouTube. You can chat both in Twitch and on YouTube. Defend the Wonder was one of the amazing MBL Yo games. Okay, I heard that set went so long that it was continued another day. Hopefully, at least it's a 1v1 and we don't have one of those Austria-UK situations where Leary's gonna come out of nowhere and play. Hello, Panda. Hello, power to the pandas and Panda Tank. All the pandas in the chat. Oh, good luck to your Chiefs this weekend, Panda. Hope they do better than last weekend. Hello, Javisty. We just came out of a Men-at-Arms fiesta on Arabia. A bit of clownery will be refreshing. Well, we have seen not just Men-at-Arms, but also long swordsmen in some of these tournaments. Masty, what's your build doing? Are you long distance mining 10 stone exactly? Do you have a build for this, or did you forget about the build? Because you do have some cows hoovering around in the middle. 2K Panda? Panda is 2K, at least. Okay, just 10 stone from Masty. Why not? Maybe some outposts. You were reading chat messages about a low elo set going 3 hours after game 2, and it's a best of 5. I was like, I know what I'm not going to cast. Oh boy. Longswords are respectable. Don't compare them to puny men-at-arms. Puny men-at-arms. Okay, longswords are much better against the Aegean swordsman. And hello, Salmon. Oh, an Epic Sea Dragon, you're dual streaming too. Yeah, no, some people like that. They like to have the 4K stream to watch on YouTube, but then they, I don't know, pull out their phone or something to interact with on the Twitch chat. YouTube recently, this is probably not something now, but for the future, came out with this thing where I can dual stream different resolutions, so I could have a horizontal stream and a vertical stream. So I don't know if any phone watchers would like a vertical stream. I don't know what that would look like in Age of Empires. I guess it would be like a sliver of gameplay down the middle. Maybe I put my webcam on top of it. I don't know. Well, hopefully Masty knows what he's doing, because he's sending 11 vills forward. Maybe he saw the doubt game where the trush worked, and he might want to trush. Now, the Khmer could, of course, ballista elephant cut, but if he's going to do a castle for that, he needs to be in the castle age, and he's just up to feudal right now. Is this a douche? A feudal douche? Is this a feudal? Did he, like, scout that there was a 4x4 gap in the rock terrain? And will he douche right here and try to destroy the Wonder? You know, that might be the case. I mean, he's been mining stone. Long dis, I don't know why. Now, will he delete the TC once he gets feudal? Has running scouted anything? He doesn't see these vills yet. And okay, there's feudal. What's gonna happen to the TC? Nothing. He's gonna tower rush, right? He will tower rush and try to break through to the Wonder with villagers. How quickly do villagers break through? Not that. Oh my gosh, he could stone wall. What if he stone walls running out and running can't get here? Oh, he's gonna palisade wall. He's mining all that stone and not doing stone walls. Yeah, basically we fixed the douche by making so much rock terrain that you can't fit a TC. It takes an otherwise beautiful map and creates a horrible, ugly spot. How long does it take to get through this wall? It's a bit of the way down, quarter of the way down. I know Masty was cooking some strats, and he's definitely being a chef. You don't have a PC. You use your phone to chat and your PC to watch it. Wait, you don't have a PC, so you use your phone to chat and your PC to watch. How do you use your PC to watch it if you don't have a PC? You watch Mem for like 5 years off a phone, you can't do it anymore. I find the maps really fascinating. Yeah, they're all kind of different. And I feel like they have a couple gimmicks to them, but the gimmicks are not overpowering to the point where they're distracting, right? They feel kind of more like a natural game of AoE 2 with a twist, rather than something completely strange. Thought he'd pick him here because he wanted to chop during Castle Age. Hello, Chestnut. Your phone auto-corrected. Oh, PS4 to PC. Okay. Silly Microsoft autocorrect. Okay, well, here come 7 villagers. How long does it take 7 villagers to destroy a wonder? I don't know. Do you know? Does Masty know? Does Running know? We're gonna find out. Okay, it's not 7 vills, it's 12 vills. Let's see. What is Running gonna do here? Where Douche? They didn't need a Douche. He is crazy. I mean, would it be that bad right now just to delete the TC and build it here? Because if you have the TC here, I don't think Running ever does something that can stop you in the Castle Age. I mean, the Wonder's going down. Grid Masonry. Does the TC have more DPS than Vills? That's a good question. The Wonder has 10 Pierce Armor, so I'm going to say probably no, because each arrow would do only 1 damage. I'm going to guess the Vills have more DPS. But the problem I see for Macy, oh, there we go. He's deleting the TC now, sending more Vills forward. Yeah, 1 TC there. He's thinking what I'm thinking, 1 TC, and then Running shouldn't be able to stop this. Why is he getting a trickle of gold? Oh, that was from the foxes. There are foxes in the corner. He was just briefly hunting one of the foxes. There were some foxes in the corners by the shorefish. Yeah, foxes, hello, WaRRioR. Yeah, Masty stream sniping the Rex I'm casting. Perhaps he thinks the Wonder is useless? Well, it's almost halfway down. Masty, you might want to wall this up, buddy. Don't let Running in. Don't let Running in after all that hard work you did. Whew. There we go. And Running is going to go double workshop to save the Wonder. It's the only thing he really can do. Masty wants to get the Vills in. Maybe they should name it Defend the Wonder. It is just named Wonder. Why Huns on this map? 1, because Tarkin's for sniping the Wonder. 2, because you can only use each Civ once throughout the entire tournament, so he might be keeping the Huns, or using the Huns to save other Civs for later. Running ist Ritterzeit angeschritten. Salted! Hello, Salted. Okay, Running loses the Scout. Now he has a Scorpion. What's a Scorpion going to do against towers? I don't know. Ooh, this is close. This is close. It's getting down to 1600 HP. It's just a palisade wall, and Masty was quickly going to build his town center. Now, what will the town center do? It'll keep the rest of the vills safe from the Scorpions and from the vills. And TC needs to go up, and there it goes. If a vill would ever want to do some anti-ram houses. What do we got? 1300 HP on the Wonder. This is getting close. Running needs to push. Running needs to push soon. Down goes the tower. Now that TC is there, can Running stop this? If he's still leading his own walls, he needs to get in. TC is there. What will Masty do? He'll garrison the TC. He probably needs to kill the Scorpions. Scorpions will be the problem. He needs to make sure he garrisons at the right time. The Wonder has 600 HP left. The problem is Running, if he has vills here, he can repair the Wonder. Maybe the TC was a mistake and Masty should have spent all that time attacking the Wonder. It is close. It's down to 500 HP. Down to 500 HP. Masty can't repair the TC. He doesn't have the wood for it. 400 HP. Here come the Rams. There are vills in the Rams. And then Running, he can repair the Wonder. He can repair the Wonder. He doesn't have stone. He can't repair the Wonder without stone. He needs to go to the market and buy stone. The Wonder is down to 200 hit points. 188. Oh, this is so close. This is so close. 2 vills left. 2 vills left. 140 hit points. And Masty is defeated as his last vill is impaled by 3 Scorpion bolts at once. Oh, wow, that was amazing. The Wonder down to 137 hit points. Oh, if he built the Wonder instead of the TC, does he win? I don't know. That was close. That was so close. Wow. If Masty could have gotten those last 3 vills inside, then he probably has enough DPS to destroy it. If you lose all villagers and you lose your town center, then you lose. Yes. Or did he delete his Wonder? Whatever happened, no more Masty. Or just second layer. Yeah, if he had maybe done a stone wall layer instead of a palisade layer, right? Maybe then this works. Oh, that was so close. Maybe what if he did like Berber? What if you were the Inca and did like a blacksmith upgrade for the attack on the vills? Would that matter? I guess the armor has. Does the building have so much armor that it doesn't matter? I don't know, but that was close. That was really, really close. Oof. Oh, that's true. It's a castle age they get it now. It's a castle age they get it now. You're right. You're right. They don't get in feudal anymore. All right, so Masty is starting us off with a banger, but running will take a very, very close game number 1 win. You also need the insane feudal timing. Yeah, maybe with melee. More vills and still the timing. Ooh, melee. Now that's a good one. I was also thinking maybe Berbers because you walk across the map faster. Yeah, running definitely had to sweat that game. That's for sure. All right, so let me just do a quick ad between the games, and then we'll get to the next one. And thank you, Volstriostoon92. And remember, if you want to watch on YouTube too for the 4K stream, and if you want to support any subs, any donations are much appreciated now because they help us keep events like this running. Running as in keeping your Wonder running. You'd be like, hey Masty, is your opponent running? Well, you'd better go catch him. Oh, that was amazing. Oh, I need to catch my breath after that. That was brilliant. Can we keep the event Mastying instead? Sure, if you want to keep the event Mastying, a sub will support that too. Go game number 2. And keeping the same colors, we will have Masty as the yellow way, and running as the purple Bulgarians. The map is now Narok. Narok is a regicide map. Instead of a castle and a barracks, though, players have a fortified tower. And we have to remember that we saw 2 players get housed earlier. The king counts as 1 pop space, so you're not going to have your standard build. And running even going, yeah, he's going to find a group of shorefish and berries and do a mill. And a mill over there so he has more room to grab them. And there are shorefish in the land down here. The box turtles down there in the land. I don't know what the clowns were doing when they added them there, but they're there and you can build them and take them. Bulgarians. I see purple with the BU sieve, and my mind thinks Burgundians, but no, Bulgarians. Again, probably not one of the top tier civs that running will save for later, but who knows? Maybe we're gonna find a map where Krepos drops are crazy. Maybe Toad IG would have crazy Krepos drops, like you block your opponent from defending the Wonder. So Masty and running still running their kings about, scouting. A fortified tower from Masty. Masty going for the Tiger Cav King Snipe? Maybe. Maybe the coffee, so I'm weak for this. And, well, what do we think of the Way doing here? I mean, they do have Tiger Cav. They could do Cao Cao as their hero. He increases the attack speed of nearby units for Tiger Cav that then have extra attack. And Shenbei Raiders. Okay, it's definitely an all-in play with the Way. So a Way play, all in. That's what we're anticipating from Masty then. Okay, okay. Got all the extra vills, so go 1 TC all in. Okay, here are some more realistic black box turtles with a bit of water, I think. Not that box turtles never go on land, but I don't think they swim in solid dirt. If definitely not swimming there. Like, this is the type of terrain where if you were playing Lego Rock Raiders, you'd need the dynamite to blast this. You can't just drill it. Tunneling turtles. Well, you can be good on this map regardless, really. What have we here? This is Masty saying, oh, he's saying we found your middle. Your middle. And oh, what have we here? A king out in the middle. With feudal age on the way for Masty. Masty's king is really far forward. He's probably got to take the king back. I always say use your own feudal timing, kind of as a proxy for when your king needs to be safe. They fixed kings recently. What do you mean they fixed them? Well, they don't stop when hit. So the MBL bug doesn't happen anymore. When he lost that tournament game. Was that like an elimination game on Copenhagen? Because he ran his king back, but the king got hit and he stopped. Oh, can the king still, can they retaliate? There used to be this thing, the retaliation system. I made a video on it once. Where, like, let's say you have a group of knights together and a longbow shoots one of them. When one of them gets hit, all of them run to attack the longbow. The same thing kind of happens if a king is nearby. If a nearby unit gets hit, the king can run to retaliate. And sometimes you'd see kings trying to attack. Exposed Vill detected, full scout rush. Well, let's see what Masty does. He did a barracks, so I wouldn't be surprised to see scouts now that he does have that barracks. And Blacksmith on the way. Blacksmith archery range. Ooh, this is going to be Xianbei Raiders. Running ist zur Feudalzeit vorangeschritten. And we'll need a bit more gold for Masty to click up. Maybe he's going to sell. Well, he can't because he doesn't have a market. Maybe he's just going to mine the gold. That's what you got to do the old-fashioned way. Bills will have to drop off a few more times. Yeah, feels like Xianbei Raiders. Oh, and Running. Hello, Running's king. Oh, you better hope Masty doesn't scout that. Maybe that's what this is, just a distraction so Masty doesn't find his king. Still catching up, but wow, game 1 was close. Hello, Nathan. That was crazy. And there is Castle Age for Masty. And we have double ranges for Running. Last game was a draw. Last game was really close. Imagine the Villager and the Wonder die on the same game tick, and we have to go to the tiebreaker of who has the higher player slot.
Вашим услугам. Да.
So Spirit and Archer and a Scout. King in the tower for Masty, and Running will be running his own king back to his own tower. Try to get him to safety. Now Running once more ist zur Ritterzeit vorangeschritten, and he will start making those cav archers. I'll have to do a full, well, I really do want to do a full German stream sometime. Maybe I'll have to make up for not going to Berlin this winter by doing a German stream. Running? Okay, Scout keeps running. Don't want to die to the tower because he's not running. How ironic would that be? Running dying due to lack of running. So TC on the berries. Okay, don't always see that. But since he milled the middle, might as well do the TC here. Get some berries, and he's going Cav Archers too. Bulgarian Cav Archers. Who wins Cav Archers versus Shenbei Raiders? That I don't know. Cav Archers have, see, the same range, one more base attack, and much more HP. But then these things have the special ability.
Da.
The charge shot. CA is pretty decent versus Shenbei, but if you make the Shenbei really well, they can still do good. Okay, so what you're saying is it depends. You're saying is Masty has a shot. Masty has a shot indeed. See, hey, definitely easier to play. Okay, okay. I guess you need to micro for the charge attack. You have to watch out for the fortified tower. Okay, Bulgarian CA. And someone on the YouTube was commenting about Bulgarians earlier on one of my videos. People sleep too much on Bulgarian CA? I think Bulgarian CA are the type of unit that can give you a good night's sleep. Especially once ballistics comes in. We won't have ballistics for Masty. And CA goes down. But ballistics now is in. Ballistics now is in on the CA. Scout goes down. The Cav Archers come. Oh, wait, this is open actually behind the TC, I think. Yeah, this is actually open. Running won't want to run in though. And the lack of ballistics there hurting Masty. Can't hit anything. Oh, where's ballistics? There's Loom. And it looks like Masty will win that fight. Okay. No bow saw with way is sad. That's true, no extra vills. You get those extra vills from the bow saw. And from all the eco upgrades. Are we live, lad? Yes, Tristan, we are live indeed. We're live. We have an evening stream. I like the evening streams. And Shenbei costs a lot of wood. And then the wood was just raided a bit. Masty gonna try to stone wall. That's just a palisade in the north. We're gonna find something with the Shenbei raiders he can try to hit. Maybe this wood line. Yes, epic dual watching, dual chatting. Ooh, double kill. Double kill. Andy, a YouTube watcher confirmed? What do you mean? Okay, 90 wood left, not open. And over here, Shenbei going to come around and hit a Vil. I got something in my eye, and I just, yeah. Trying to get it out. Oh, double kill on the Shenbei Raiders. Is this a, oh my gosh. Running the micro, 2 kills at once, 4 times in a row. Micro. Man, this guy has some insane micro. Would have even had the Vil outside to trap them in, too. Yeah, Shenbei. saying that to those readers. And Nagi Boggy, thank you very much for using your Prime sub. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Get enough subs, maybe we do the chicken cosplay for this event. So Masty gonna have a TC denied. 85.28%, so I think we can wave Xian bye to those villagers. Ballistics on the way from Masty. And he's doing ballistics with Xianbei for another run at the wonder at the TC. I almost said wonder from the previous game, at the TC. Monk goes down. Finish the TC. Cav Archers start to shoot the vills, keep them away, keep them away. We'll have ballistics and husbandry on the way. Jinbei keeping the Cav Archers back. And again. Yes, again. More vills. They finished the TC. We're good, we're good. We finished the TC. Everything fine in Mastyville for the moment. Down only 9 vills. Actually, is that? Capture is bugged out. I'm not going to judge him for that farm. It's a tile away from the TC. Might be a capture age bug. Recency. What was the map? Narek when... Or no, not Narek. This Nagome where the farms are off by their tile. Like, I can't tell what tile that tree is on or if there's a tile between the farm and the TC. I'm guessing it's TC, tree, and then farm outside of that with the tree in between. I'm not sure. Pretty sure it's trees, TC, tree, farm. All right, I'll trust Salted Pepper's expertise. And free PlayStation 1997, thank you for the follow. Oh, if you have a free PS2, you could play the old school AoE 2 game on it. I think now AoE 2 is on the modern PlayStation 2, the DE one. You must play solid farms all the time. Yeah, now it looks like there's a clear stump between the farm and the TC. So time to delete and rebuild that tile back. Bloodline, stone mining, and loom for all these Cav Archers from running. And Masty wants to group everything up, so it's 25 to 28 military. This is a close fight, but one that I think running should win with micro. Oh, but what does running want with all these vills? He doesn't have the stone yet for a castle. What is he gonna do? He's gonna buy a castle? Where's he going? Where's he going? He has more stuff down here. Those are just CA. Ooh, Masty can't quite get the castle there. He doesn't have a way to stop that. The vills are outside the outer range of the TC. House on the way for running. So it's a crep. Oh, he's Bulgarians. He doesn't need castles. He needs creposts. Masa says could have been more forward. Ultra small map time. I think T90 should be getting the uploads of the Doubt Tato show to his channel soon. But yeah, we'll hopefully do more of those again pretty soon. You watched most all of them. Yeah, fun. Maybe we gotta do like a bigger tournament with small maps at some point. Like get a couple $100 prize pool for a B tier tournament. So I'm waiting for the fight. Masty has some vills down here. He has a castle in position. Okay, big fight here. Both trying to stay on top of a hill. Maybe slightly more on the hill for running. Lead scrums coming forward. Ooh, where are those vills going? And why are they dropping a prep post? Right here on this extra gold and those vills from Masty, who will have to run away. Down by 10 vills right now. Slightly up in military, but not all grouped together, it looks like. But not all grouped together. Looks like. There we go. Oh, Tiger Cav. Swap into Tiger Cav, but probably not effective against Cav archers. Yeah, 0 PS armor, right? Tiger Cav with no armor is certainly a choice, yes. But if you wanted to build a castle but there's some fish in the dirt blocking you, yeah, if there's fish in the dirt blocking you, then you can't build it there. Just that simple. Shorefish cannot be removed by building foundations. Or box turtles, the same thing. Even if they are in the land. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. The deep fish marlins could be removed by palisades, but I don't think that works anymore. And okay, army goes down for running. Masty takes the score lead, but running up to Imp, and we'll have another archery range here for Masty. Few skirms all coming forward. Masty's eco is a bit better. This would be a great moment to go Tiger Cav in front. It's not like he has the worst eco. He's up to 90 villagers at least. Tiger Cav in front and all in. I mean, remember, it is Regicide. An all-in push could pull off a King Snipe. Fortified tower is to the front of your base, not to the back. So running now is the Imperial Zeit for Angeschritten. He is up to the Imperial Age. Chemistry Embracer. Masty still castle is not clicked yet. Oh, poor Masty. And running, will he see this? He will run into it with skirms. There he goes. Ooh, kills him with the skirms. Having a lot of vills doesn't always mean you have a good eco. That is true. That is very true, Salted. That is very, very true. So Parthian Tactics, Heavy Plow, Chemistry, and Thumbring on the way. Imperial Age. Queued up and on the way for Masty. And Shinbei Raiders still hoovering around. We'll have Parthian and Thumbring on the way. Have archers come over to the vills on the gold, and they will get some kills. Masty will run. So about a 20 vil lead for running, as Masty's still on his way up. And running seems to have a lot of the map control. And this Bulgarian CA play, along with some skirms, has seemed to have done well against the Shinbei Raiders. And Tiger Cav haven't really done much of anything. Is heavy Cav Archer and gold mining for running. Double workshop here for Masty. Idling 36 vills for a couple minutes now. Idle time.
Da.
Something you definitely prefer to avoid. And here is a castle from running directly in the middle of the map. The Masty King ungarrisoned voluntarily to head to the back. And remember, this is still a regicide game that if Masty wants to, could try to go for a king snipe. King that tower still, king the TC in the back for Masty. Embracer on the way. Traction trebuchets. Unit that has seemed insane from what I've seen of it. When they first came out, I heard people saying they weren't that good, but now that I've seen them quite a bit, oh, they feel amazing. And Stirps on the way for the faster attacking. Stirps? Cavalry attacks. Do cavalry archers count as cavalry? Does Stirps make them attack faster? I mean, let's look at their reload time as that finishes. Okay, that looks like no. Yeah, it does look like no. CA is included, it's usually mounted units. None of the descriptions are very accurate, though. You have to kind of know them on a unit-by-unit basis. Because sometimes mounted units includes the war elephant, which is obviously does not have anyone mounted atop it. It is just its own beast. On the units from stable or cavalry. It's in the name, though. Attraction Trebs. They've taken out one castle, removed it, and Tunshin Thumb Ring. Tunshin for the military generates food. And now attacking another Krepost. Was that a castle or a Krepost that was destroyed? Maybe it was a Krepost. Mounted Cav, Elephant, Camels are all different tags for units. Yeah, I know, I mean, but sometimes the, it's confusing because units have a unit class and they also have attack classes and armor classes. And sometimes descriptions refer to one of them and they don't always match up. So it depends on what exactly they're describing sometimes. So Traction Trebs going for the Cav Archers. Cav Archers doing some damage here. We have a bunch of units in the front now. I think that was the Tiger Cav going down for the most part, though. So Hussars are going down. I'm running, throwing units into the meat grinder here. And again, so is Masty. Ooh, getting a hit there. Traction ship going down and pushing into the castle. Mingguang armor. That is basically just a ton of armor for calves. And +4 melee armor. Doesn't really matter here. Going for the castle, and I think Masty won't be able to hold this. I think that's too many Cav Archers from running. And so running with the Cav Archers, and the Bulgarian CA doing the job. Oh wait, he goes up. I forgot the scoreboard after game 1. Doing the job against the Shinbei Raider. Okay, so running, maybe just picking, thinking, you know what, I'll pick a Civ that I'm not gonna value highly for the later rounds. I'll just use it here, and then had a perfect counter to the Shinbei Raiders with the CA. 10k more res collected. And not even earlier imp helps Masty. The ultra small maps freak you out. I think they're really cute. Now Masty, he's down, but he's not out yet. He could still pull off the reverse sweep. And European capture age. Masty reverse sweep is about to shock and amaze all of us. Hey, hey, hey. It's not going to be shocking, but it might amaze us. Now, doing his home maps in reverse order. With the picks, alright. I only need like Visine or something for my eyes while casting to keep my eyes. Every so often I just gotta like close my eyes and like try to get water in them. Being well lit while casting is hard. I'll go to the gym soon, so Masty is forced to do an epic reverse sweep that I completely miss out on. Oh, you can watch at the gym salted. I used to do, if anyone plays Roller Coaster Tycoon, if you know Marcel Voss, I used to, during the cold winter months, when I wanted to get some cardio in, I'd listen to Marcel Voss videos while I was on the elliptical. I know he's been in the stream sometimes. And game number 3, here we go. And here we go. mastyjames will be playing as the Yellow Sicilians, running as the Purple Sicilians, and the map is Ngome. We will have the town center being constructed from running and from Masty, both of them knowing how the map works. They have done their homework. I know Masty, he's been watching. Good to see we're both getting this civ out of the way. And with all the stone, they could both be 5 TC booming. Running doesn't like the Sicilians. What powerful words. No, Masty. They can bond in their hatred. Idiot elephant. Day 3 of watching Twest's recorded videos and changing to live Twest. Nice. And I think people like having the VODs on YouTube. I don't know how to manage them, because obviously like it would be nice if I could edit the videos and like just have a chunk that's cutting out all the time in between them. But I don't know if that's really like a practical thing to do. Oh, thank you, Vic, for the follow on Twitch. Also, we are really close to 14K followers. We're at 13,840. So thank you all for the follows. Use the Twitch for the recorded streams. Yeah, watch the VOD on Twitch. Yeah. The only bad part about Twitch is that the VODs only last for 60 days, so they disappear after a while. YouTube is completely permanent, which is lovely. Is it going to be Donjon Gaming? Maybe both of them are going to be Donjon Gaming. You never know. Imagine donjons on like these neutral areas. Right, you can build on them. Transport sergeants, do some donjons. Maybe what we need is a swimming unit. That's something that hasn't been done yet, a swimming unit. And at 14,023, we'll be exactly 1/3 of the way to 42,069. Sea Dragon doing some quick maths for us. Is that right? 14 and 14 would be 28, then another 14, 42. Yeah, we would be. Nice, nice, nice. So, TC number 3 for running, doing that a bit before Masty. Remember, the Sicilians also build the TCs faster, so they have the stone, they don't need to collect it, and then they build the TCs. You could be nice between the wood and the gold. You get a bit of a gazelle hunt, too. Over there, too, you could take the elephant. So, I guess you also have the question of, do you go TC or do you go Dock? And, well, the decision is going to be TC for Masty. I think just adding chapters, if possible, would be enough. So, see, I did chapters in the past, Bulka, but the problem is people don't like the spoilers that the chapters make. So the alternate to that is like a pinned comment, and I need to go make a pinned comment for every video that has the timestamps in it. So I think that's the way to go. And I know the YouTube editor does have a very limited editor, that I can use essentially just to cut parts out of the video. And I think I could use that, but like that then means that the video needs to process again. And I don't know if it's worth it. Like if people want to come back the next day to watch the video, it might be like some bugs with processing that the YouTube player has. I don't trust it. You can do more than 2 TC on this? Oh, you can do as many TCs as you want in the Dark Age. That was Bruh's revelation the other day. First that you could build a TC, and then you could build more than one. I was always wondering if they'd give Sicilians the AOM Norse treatment and just let all their infantry construct military buildings. Oh boy. I think it's good to restrict it to only 1 unit. But yeah, the Sergeant is one of those, like, it's not the worst thing they've added, but it feels like they're more copying Age of Mythology than trying to do their own thing, or trying to do a very AoE 2 thing. And it always just feel kind of forced in to me. I don't know. I mean, I've never been a particular fan of the Sergeants. This Dark Age is going to take... Yeah, that's true. It might be the longest Dark Age ever if both players go 5 TC booms while doing fish. We might hit 200 pop in the Dark Age. I mean, we're a quarter of the way there already. Imagine if we played this on, like, the AOK campaign 75 pop limit. Sergeants look cool, though. That's true. Imagine if Britain longbows could make palisades. That is copying some AoE 4 mechanics. Honestly, that would be hilarious, though. that would honestly be kind of hilarious. Imagine Viper with a bunch of longbows quick walling with palisades. How do I like the Flemish militia, then? I've never been a fan of the button. From the barracks, it's okay, I guess. I'm glad that that's the redesign, but I wish they would change out the button for something different. Like they did Scootage for the Sicilians. Remember when the Sicilians had Scootage? I was going to click on a button and like look at the Sicilians player, then I realized everywhere I looked there's a Sicilians TC. So Masty with the TC advantage, 4 of them. Longest Dark Age ever goes to your buddy docking with Huns on Nomad and thinking Fishboom with 3 vills and Lumber Camp is better than adding a TC. That's good. That reminds me of the time I was playing Huns on Land Nomad on HD, and I placed a lumber camp, and then as I walked to it, we didn't have cartography at the time, right? So you didn't see your allies. As I placed the foundation and my vills were walking to it, I got scouting that my allies' foundation was literally adjacent to mine, and I thought, oh, that's not going to be an efficient lumber camp. So I deleted the lumber camp to move it a few tiles over. But in the HD lag, my villager just barely tapped that lumber camp foundation and spent a fraction of 1 wood. And then I was stuck without a lumber camp and 99 wood and couldn't build another one. So I then had to wait for my ally to build the TC so I could garrison the TC to drop off the wood. And then chop more wood until I could do a TC. Why are age advancements announced in German language? Because the player who uploaded the Rex happened to be running and we're just watching his point of view. The admins will randomly grab Rex from one of the players, and they just happen to grab him from running. It would be a nice thing in the replay packer tool if we could maybe just auto-change all those messages to be English. So I know that is kind of distracting for people. And like for the community events, right? If we always have like a winner upload them instead of the higher seed upload them, then it could be kind of spoilery. Here we have an admin team, so we can get rec packs without spoilers. Yeah, it's theoretically possible. That was one of the old controversies. Zero Empires was annoyed at seeing all the chat messages in Rex, so he had Scripter write a tool that removed chat messages from Rex, and then Voobly got mad because the tool, in removing all of the messages, also removed the this game was played on Voobly watermark that they tried to spam in their Rex. So Masty with a Vill taken a fight here. We've had a couple of eco kills already. Where are the kills? The kills are with fires on the water. His running is up to feudal, making some fires, and he is running up to the castle age. Masty up in eco, 86 eco units to 74. But running starting out with the donjon. Running will be up a bit faster. But he'll be taking the pond. Both players fishing on the pond rather than the great fish marlins over here or towards the relic island. Masty just docking and starting towards the relic island. He's got a transport on the way, so he will be thinking of going and grabbing the relics as ASAP as he possibly can. And, oh, wait, 1, 2... Oh, the map is bugged. Admin re. Let me copy and paste the bug report to the admins, to the maps. Masty versus running game 3, only 6 relics on Ngome instead of 7. Boom. They do some other programming projects in the few weeks. After that, I'll try to get back to AoE projects. Yeah, just a small thing, but I think it'd be nice. Okay, so castle drop is Sicilians castle dropping the Sicilians. Well, the best time to castle drop the Sicilians is when they're in feudal, because then they can't do a counter castle. And running will get this castle up. And I mean, look at this castle. It is hitting 1 TC and giving him a springboard to attack 2 more. And Masty will be migrating. He'll go for a Masty migration. And come over to grab more stone and more gold. You're confused by a normal for clowns map? I mean, a normal map where you have a 2 TC... I'm going to call it a 2 TC start, even though it's... No, that's not doing it justice. It's a TC plus Nomad start with no TC Dark Age restrictions. This is the opposite of a normal map. Okay, so Masty has made his way to the Rittard site. He is for angeschritten. And we'll have... Oh my gosh, Masty, you needed a demo. If only he had a demo here. There's a donjon, there's a castle. Running's like, I want to drop another castle. I've almost got the stone. I'm going to run all my villas here. And let's see what you can do to stop me, Masty. There he goes. He wants the castle drop down here. Yeah, remember the Koreans had their bonus and then they brought Sicilians out? Yeah. So, oh, that's kind of silly how they saw something that was a bad idea and then they doubled down on it. Sicilian castles. Running says, oh, you made 1 castle, I'll just run around. Masty, he's getting on the castle drop action too. He's castle dropped one of Running's TCs. And he'll be mining some more stone over here. No one fighting for water control, really. And Masty is still not doing his transport to grab the relics. Now they just need to add a new civ that 1 hits all hunt. Now Goths lost their bonus. Is it silly or Sicily? The silly Sicilians. This map has been great. This map has been amazing. So War Galley on the way. And an outpost here for Masty. Just in time to see the dock. Does Masty have Town Watch? He does have Town Watch. It'll be a Masty outpost. Giving him some good vision. Boom, vision. Well, the only thing he didn't see already with the other outpost was the coast, but now he sees the coast. Military units can lame hunt now. Yeah. Personally, I'm still not a fan of that change. Definitely not a fan of it. Sorry, game lagged out 14. Looks like we had a pause. And that was just a pause so Masty could admire the fact he clicked up to Imp. But he's now down by about 25 vills. But he has a monastery and he's getting ready to start thinking about those relics. And we'll see if he actually can manage to pull them back and forth. Another castle going forward for Masty. Will Running do like an anti-castle dance with his villagers? He was going to try to block it. He's going to try to Vil fight. Can you Vil fight a Sicilian castle? It's faster to build your own castle. Masty's going to be like, nope, I'm out of here. You do that castle, I'll build mine over here. I'm going to go imp and I'm a treb. I'm going to treb you down. I'm going to do some chemistry and some cannon galleons. You two couldn't comprehend that imp time. So Masty, he's only going to have 75 vills though. Only going to have 75 vills. Yeah, no one even fighting over here. Masty's still trying to get monks for the transport. And we'll have forging on the way here from Running. Yeah. I actually have the opposite opinion, Deadly Cookie. I understand the military change, but I don't like the TC change. I feel like now there's absolutely no risk to doing a WaRRioR. That's the entire point of the board, that you have to risk your villagers. So there's a bit of gameplay in the Dark Age. Just kind of feels like the Dark Age is has less to do now. Like if you have chickens, so you don't need to push them. The board just is killed by the TC, so you don't need to worry about garrisoning your hunters. There's a lot less gameplay in the Dark Age now. And it's not like replacing the chickens with the scout somehow made it more important to scout. It's just like they removed something from the Dark Age without adding to it. So, Sergeant's in the ram, trying to dodge some castle fire. Masty falling apart, though. He's doing some damage with his castle. He's gonna need to find more damage. He's gonna need to take advantage of his imp to do some trebbing. He's trying to get another castle up. Can 2 vills build a castle? Can running stop this if he notices it? If these vills wall themselves in, I think they finish it. And they will wall themselves in. Masty paying attention, and he will get the castle up. Chickens had more scouting until they re-added neutral deer. Honestly, I kind of like the funneling. The funneling at least gives you, like, a fun way to interact with the animals. I think the point of animals in AoE 2 is that you interact with them. If you can't funnel the chickens, then they're just more berries. Yeah, maybe they're harder to quick wall against militia, but they're basically just berries then. We already have berries. So the sergeant hitting the villagers. And running up to Imp, Masty doing armor on the sergeants. He has a transport. He has monks and vills. Are there vills out here? He can dock out here if he wants to fish boom. What are the vills doing out here? Maybe he just grabbed them and put them in the transport. Castle taking out a stable. Running... Okay, there is the castle there. Bill has his castle here. He is pushing in the south, has ram pushed, and is maybe going to think about taking the rams back up. So somehow they've kind of swapped sides of the map over here. And now Masty's in the north, and running is in the south. They have completely swapped their starting sides. And here we shall have plate mail armor on the way for Masty. Sergeant going down. Some sergeants and rams come forward. Bill's walking back. As the rams come rolling along over to the side. And the mining camp will take some hits from the sergeants. Rams, though, will hit the outpost. Outpost will hit the houses. Masty looks dead, so you'll go now and hear about the comeback when you get back. Alright, Salted Pepper, we'll tell you about the comeback when you're done from the gym. What are you doing at the gym, Salted Pepper? Oh, what is it? Is it chest day? Is it leg day? I want to hear about the workout. Maybe it's just cardio. He's so disappointed in Masty that he's gonna have to go sweat it out. Oh, it's climb on the wall day. It's that type of gym. Okay, okay. I remember I visited a friend, this was years ago, and we went rock climbing at a climbing gym, and it's something I had never done before. So the next day, as I was flying back, my wrists were so sore I literally could not hold my phone to scan my boarding pass. I was just shaking trying to open it and scan. So ram push on the castle. Masty's still trebbing, but he's down to 65 vills, and the rams are coming in. Capped rams now, but vills there to fight the capped rams. Okay, maybe not enough vills. Needed some supremacy vills. And he will call the GG. So running wins 3-0. Congrats to running. That first game though, Masty nearly got that wonder. That was a close one. So 85 to 45 KD. Economy. I think that feudal age where he was able to disrupt the fish kind of led to a win for running. That helped him out. Zap was quick. You had to use both hands to drink after the first time you went climbing. Alright, so I'll chalk that up as a win for running. And he will advance to the winner's round. Masty, he's not done yet, though. He will go down to the elimination round. He lost Ngome. And that's our first set. Our next set will be... let's see, I think Barles versus Shulk. And then we'll end with FreakinAndy versus WaRRioR. Let me update the video description here. Chest day at the gym. Chest day. I think you mean chest day. But chess at the gym sounds fun too. Let me update my title. Barles versus Shulk. Do that on Twitch too. And let me grab their draft. Plop that into the draft. Pretty sure Barles will be on the left. Yes, he will be. And then we'll have Barles, Shulk. All right, so I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back, and then we'll get into the next set. Let me go to my BRB break screen, I guess. Just have the drafts without the webcam, and then I'll be back in a moment. Alright, I am back. Don't skip leg. Don't skip leg day. No, no, no. Definitely not. Oh, Turs. Hello, Turs. Go, Masty. I think you're a bit late for Masty, Turs. How did I literally not see Turs in the chat earlier? TOS blind. Anyway. Get that pump. Yes. Oh, actually, I did go to my doctor today. And he had a referral to a specialist for my shoulder. So I'm going to start taking care of my shoulder. I need to start scheduling appointments next week. So, Barles versus Shulk. Game 1 will be on Veldchans. Veldchans? I'll say Veldchans. Let's get capturage up and running. Here we are. And swap over. Right, so here we will have Shulk playing as the blue Portuguese and Barles as the purple Bulgarians. Purple Bulgarians again, but since it is blue versus purple, I think we will have to lamentedly place Barles in the red so that we can see the color difference properly. So thank you all for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the late night streams. This is usually later than a stream, but this morning we had a lot of overlapping sets and I had a doctor's appointment, so I'm trying to stream everything now. Thank you also Objective A and Old Lady Xenia for the follows. Welcome everyone to the chat as we're climbing our way towards 14k, 15k followers. I'm trying to stream with the webcam today so you can see how much I need a haircut soon. So goes over to a lumber camp. Oop. Oh, there's a bit of hay in the wood line. Look at that. That's going to be annoying. Especially if you have the small hay. I don't know why hay is so small. It was much larger in HD. Did they add it in HD? Was this in AOC? I think it was definitely in AOC, yeah. But it was much larger then. That was kind of small and hard to see. Another odd map. So how does this map work? I hope you like flags. I really hope you like flags. We have a huge chunk of flag here. Right, so this map has a bunch of fortified palisades. There's some rock terrain here in the openings, so you can wall behind it, but you can't wall on it. And you can go through to the middle. You have a passage to your opponent, but then there are also walled off areas that contain extra gold, extra herdables, and some hunt. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is like the wall that your villagers cannot attack the wall. So you can't pass through with vills, you need to pass through with units. And Barles, yeah, Barles, finding the hay bale on the wood line. You're like, oh, I have a great location for a lumber camp. You walk over there, you build it, and you're like, hey, what is this? My vills have to path around that. And did Nilly put these things here? Why is the pathing so bad? No, it wasn't Nilly, it was the clowns. Double wall, so yes, that's true, no siege towers either, nameless guy, no siege towers. Some of the things like hay and bonfires seem so tiny, we need a big America-sized bonfire decoration. America-sized, that's how we describe things that are big. Like the size of our Donald's orders. Size of our Five Guys orders. So yeah, the farms, we're facing the terrain masking issue, where the farms try to blend in with the water terrain, but then have these awkward sharp angles here. Where they don't blend. And they don't blend properly at all. Deer are pushed in. Now we shall have Loom on the way for Barles. Whoever built that fort was kind of scared of an invasion and thus put white flags everywhere. They say, nope, we're not fighting. I mean, we surrender right away. Farming into the swamp. Same thing over here. Look, this is kind of like zigzag farm pattern to the blending. So Loom and Loom. Shulk will be the second player to go up, probably. Oh no, Barles doing more villas after the boom. Hello HQ, brutal day today. Nice to see you streaming. I mean that. Well, hope you have a better evening then. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Hold on, change my YouTube screen so I can see the stats properly. There we go. Let's see if I can get the rest of this coffee. There we go. Interesting, didn't get rice farms? Yeah, that's true. Some farms do have the... Or if you place them on the mangrove terrain, they become rice farms. I remember the days we had the zipped random maps to handle that for Wooloo Kingdoms. Alright, so Militia coming forward for Barles. As the Bulgarians, he will get that free man-at-arms upgrade. Okay, we'll get a free... We'll be looking to give that free education to Shulk, teaching him lessons with those men-at-arms. What if the architect was paid per flag on the building? This would explain it. This would explain it. The architect paid per flag. Shulk advanced to feudal. There he goes. Wanted to have more flags per second. Flags per square inch. So watchtower up. We'll have a double bit axe on the way for Barles, doing his eco upgrade. Double bit axe already in for Shulk. And doing a defensive archery range. Now, this is a nice area to stone wall, but then again, you have to remember. So 250 HP. Looks like Rapture did indeed fix that. Good job. You have to remember that it's time to worry about these Gaia palisade walls. I don't think it costs anything to repair them, but you can break through them and go around the stone walls. What's the plan here? The plan here is just a tower rush, men-at-arms, trush. And archer defense from Shulk. He'll do archers and then probably swap into skirms at some point. Men-at-arms will take down those walls. And eventually they'll get in. They're almost in. But it has given Shulk time to wall up. Now, he's also walled the side passages, which is good because you can go up and down those passages. We have seen that before. We have seen some sneak villas go around the side and then do some workshops and be sneaky. Some monasteries. And let's see, is this army in? They gotta be close to being in. You can't maybe right-click properly that palisade. Hard to right-click behind the stone wall. And he'll have a range back here. And finally, he's managed to break through. Yeah, you can indeed destroy the wall, yes. Archers hit the scout. The wall goes down, and tower shoots the archers. Archers run over to the side. And tower will be hitting the house. We'll have town watch on the way from Barles. And a house coming up for Shulk. So, archer is still hovering around. Skirms here just not making progress. So as long as Shulk is, managing his eco, he's not taking damage here. And his goal will be to manage that eco better than Barles does and find a way to click up faster. And then potentially go mangonels. So compared to Arena, where you have more room for maybe sneaking out to the side and controlling the middle even if you are the victim of the trush, that's not going to happen here with all these stone walls. However, also compared to Arena, the relics are on the outside, so the very outside. So the trusher does not automatically get 5 relics if they keep map control. The trushee can maybe have an easier time getting a monastery up and grabbing the relics. And Yolandala, thank you. Hello, welcome to the chat. Thanks for tuning in. My mind had to figure out how many laws were at the end of your name.
Да. Приказания. К вашим услугам. Да.
Archer is still hoovering around a bit. The defensive hoovering. Skirms will try to hit the vills. Shulk selling wood, buying food. Selling stone, buying food, using the market. And he's nowhere near clicking up, even after that usage of the market. Maybe just getting more scouts. But scouts here are not going to be too effective against the skirms when they have the tower to retreat to and the men-at-arms to protect them. Maybe it would have been better just to focus on going up. I guess he wanted something to fight the skirms, but not really going to be able to take that fight. Overreacted making units. Yeah, that's what I feel with the scouts a bit. Hello, Bart. Bitcoin is crashing? I don't have any Bitcoin. There he is, Castle Age. Oh, scout here from Shulk. Hello. Getting attacked. Nothing really happening there. And then stone mine, back there. Oh, could have done the double mining camp earlier. Stone mining camp going up. And horse collar on their way, yeah. I mentioned I went to the doctor earlier. I got a tetanus shot, so I gotta keep my shoulder moving. It doesn't lock up on me. I'm probably gonna be sore for a couple days, but that's okay. Drain situation for 2 humans. Well, at least these 2 players are not AIs, not yet. So there is Bodkin and Bosaw on the way here for Barles. And we'll have a Krepost coming forward, a forward Krepost. As the Vills go to construct that, skirms try to destroy that fortified palisade behind it. Make a bit of a bigger hole in the wall. Oh, the skirms stop. 18 HP and they stop and give up. Oh no, they're not giving up. There we go. Oh, no. Almost destroyed. 9 HP. Come on, one more volley of skirms. A couple whacks from the longswords, anything. Anyway, Shulk up to the Castle Age. Crossbow Bodkin on the way for him. And the difficult thing about the Krepost will be that he no longer can mangonel push to get rid of the towers. He could go for a ram push, but that's always risky. Make sure a couple Konaks come out. Should the longswords just garrison. Are you able to see the whole base of your enemy? You're not at all, not at all. Other than the one scout that's there. The one scout, you'll see that Barles is walling up. Okay, Barles. What are the chances the Vil builds this house, walks there, and then builds this one and traps himself? Alright, so this Krepost still... Oh, the tower goes up. And the Krepost isn't finished, 86.95%. And this Vil, okay, does not trap himself. Pathing nearly worked out well there. Stone, I don't think you can mangonel this. So triple tower defense, and now maybe you can do a ram, just one ram to push it down. Those are some weak Vils. Maybe Barles needs to let them heal a bit before going for another round of construction. 90%. 90%, and the Vils are going to go tap it and run back. 91%. He should be able to get it up. I don't think he realistically can be stopped. Yeah, he can tap it and run back before the tower volley gets there and just slowly get more HP on it. 92.31%. Slowly but surely it'll be there, and then we'll be able to clean the towers. He probably needs to avoid reseeding these two farms that'll be under the Krepost. So a bit of mismanagement there from Shulk. It's a hard thing to avoid sometimes. Just get into the habit of right-clicking those farms. Maybe you have auto reseed on. This is why you don't have auto reseed until late in the game. Stuff like this, if you need to make sure your farms don't get reseeded against the Krepost trap. Yeah, and this is where the crossbows can't go forward because of the tower. And more vills from Barles. Oh wait, but he can delete the walls, but he's gonna run into an army of skirms. Ooh, he wanted to camp the yeah, this isn't gonna work out. This is not gonna work out. Crossbows under the tower against the feudal skirms. This is ugly for Shulk. That was not a good move for him. Not a good move to lose all those crossbows. But he wanted to get in Murderhole's range of the tower so he could snipe the vills, but not gonna work there. And now the Krepost is up. And immediately the vills on the farms get sniped. Yeah, he has to delete the farms right away. Yeah. As you see, when the farm is in range, the Krepost has to be deleted. You do not want one of your vills finishing another farm and tasking themselves over to it. Especially since now you're in the mid-castle age, you only have horse collar, so your farms are going to be running out. Your dark age and your feudal age farms. So defensive workshop, but now you've hit the point where maybe the workshop could have come in earlier. And maybe if with these towers you had that room to do 2 mangonels, push the tower down, and then not let the villas finish the Krepost. Would you be able to produce 40 scouts? Well, that would take a lot more food than Shulk has, but he can do something around the north. He can do something. He's going to find a mining camp on the stone. You can use these passages. How exactly you do it, I'm not certain, but you definitely can use them. Looks like Barles will be stone walling there. Good evening, Rapture. How you doing? Now Krepost will take out that tower. Another mangonel comes forward now for Barles. Looks like this house will be mangonel down. I'm sweating a bit, hoping the Masty Vill rush failed. Oh, I was hoping that succeeded. I was looking forward to seeing that Vill rush succeed. It almost worked. Running, not remembering to buy stone to repair the wonder. Made it really close. And any number of small things go differently and it succeeds. And this is the problem with the mangonel. You can't push the Krepost with a mangonel. It's got 9 range. It has enough arrows and attack to massacre it. You have to go for rams, but rams are so easy to stop. The mangonel hits the house, and we'll have gold mining on the way. Goes down and the mangonels come forward. Hello, wise turtle. Where am I from? I'm from East Coast US. And I'm a programmer. This TC is making wheelbarrow. And we have a defensive castle now. Defensive castle for Shulk. He's hitting the mangonels, but loses the mangonel to that Krepost. Can this castle be denied? Can this castle be denied? Another mangonel on the side. Oh, it's a ram and not a mangonel there. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Shulk facing the wrath of Barles' mangonels. Mangonels, if they're trying to attack those vills, that's some pathing. Choice pathing. Vills going down. And, ooh, mangonel in the middle of the TC goes down with the extra range shot. And this TC will go down. Down it goes. Mangonel, ooh, 6 HP. And this castle so close to being denied. More mangonel shots coming in on the vills. It's at 93%. A couple more vills going down. Easier to deny castles now with the attack ground change. And Barles is going to say, yep, that goes up. Let me just fall back. Fall back. Lose 1 mangonel, lose 2 mangonels. Third will have to mangonel its way through the palisades to find safety. But I should be able to do that, not too hard. Yeah, he was really late to make the workshop, right? He was investing so much into the towers. On the side, he's stone-walled, but he isn't really managing to attack anything out there. And Barles is prepared with stone walls and some house walls on the outside, so he's not particularly vulnerable, unless maybe he overchops. We'll have a far outside TC for Shulk. He'll be doing it on the oysters and the woodline. A 1 Vill TC. Well, 9 more Vills heading over there. But Imp on the way for Barles, along with Handcart and Heavy Plow, so he's imping and doing upgrades. Remember to stay hydrated. We also have Imp from Shulk, so he's not too far behind, but about a minute or so. A good thing for Shulk is that Barles has done the Krepost and not a castle, so Barles won't immediately have tribs. And also, as the Bulgarians, he does not have access to bombard cannons, whereas Shulk is the Portuguese will. Bombard cannons with siege engineers could be fairly nice, especially against Bulgarians. Now, so far on this map, I've never really seen anyone use the outside areas here, or the extra spots. Looks like that's where Shulk's heading now. We could try to break through here, maybe get over to the other side. I feel like maybe we should have an opening in these walls at least. That way when you break through, it's easier to go raid your opponent. You only need to get through 2 layers instead of 3. Should be tiny trebs and Krepos. Don't give devs more ideas about where to place traction trebs. Those things are scary enough as they are. Being hit by mangonels. And hopefully he's going to finish this off and make it a large gap. Yes, there he goes, there he goes. Perfect. Toy trebs to make Bulgarians more interesting. That makes them sound horrifying. The Crepuches. That is a good pun. So crossbows come over, chased by some light calves. Skirms will chase the crossbows. Chase them down and get some good javelin hits on them. And Shulk there, though, he will call the GG. He will call the GG as he feels like he's not going to be able to push this. Down by 20 vills, and Barles manages to bring a treb forward. So the fact that Barles does at least have a castle for trebs, and it's something that Shulk won't be able to push, that will lead to the GG. So that's 1-0 for Barles, winning game 1. And it's 42 to 7 KD. 5k more res, better imp timing, better all around. Bulgarians don't have a good EQ, it'll be fine. Well, not from the point of view of Shulk. Alright, so let's see what we have going on. It's 1-0 for Barles. He will win the opening map of Velchins. Give them they never had paladins, right? What do you mean again? Don't be scaring me like that. Malians could have paladins. They had them in a beta once. At the start? I don't think so. The Poles never had paladins. I don't think there's ever been a paladin civ that had them and lost them. Yeah, the only one that comes to mind is Beta Malians. Beta Malians. Get a good stretch in now that I'm getting old. And alright, I think we're done with the ad, so let's get into game number 2. It'll be game 2, it'll be on Sardis. Oh, the lovely map of Sardis. 6 times the wall. Alright, and once more we'll put Barles in the red. So we'll have Shulk playing as the blue Cumans, Barles as the red Goths. This is a matchup we saw the other day. And that set with Bloodless and Bruh, where the Cumans managed to win still. And depending on how things go, it can be an interesting Civ matchup. We'll have the TC here. Barles, he'll be pumping out Vils. And what's he gonna do? What can the Goths do? I'm sure they'll have a good mercenary camp infantry spam. You get a lot of infantry units there, the Sickle Warriors, the Hoplites. Then also your ranged units, the Peltasts and the Rhodian Slingers. Just looked it up, they did have Paladins? Really? With stirrups? Really? When did they have that? Now, Cumans have the faster Paladins. And then lumber camp, forward lumber camp for Shulk. I guess that's a bit better to see the outside of the wall. Let me click that link you shared. Paladin. Bulgarian. Originally have access to Paladin with update 36906. They no longer have access. What is that? 36906. Initially, Krepos have a size of 4x4 and can be converted with update 34055. They now have a size of 3x3 and cannot be converted. This can't have been the live game, right? This has to be like in the beta sometime. Krepos have always been 3x3. Removed April 2020? Really? I know there was a bug that Krepost used to be a drop-off site, so if you garrisoned Vils inside the Krepost, you drop off resources. It was 4x4 at launch, really?
What?
I guess I must have just not played them in the beta all that much. They look cooler when big. What is this map? Why is everything on fire? I don't know. Is Bazi around? What is the history of Sardis? Why is the city on fire? I don't know. But that it is. And you will have your mercenary Greek units you can train at the mercenary camp. Also, you want to break out of the wall to grab the trade workshop in the middle, and that's why we've seen the Cumans picked so much here, because you can ram push the wall and get through. I wonder if going on, everyone will just use the Cumans, then we'll no longer see them because of the civ picking meta.
Salam. Evet.
Neyse.
Neyse.
Scout Calf pushing the Maflons. And the Vils get the kill. So there's Feudal Age on the way for Shulk. Vils can go out to the lumber camp. Nothing like building your civilization in the middle of a burning city. I guess so, but you're gonna need to get that workshop. That's why the workshop gives you an insane amount of resources, which is why we've seen it coveted so valuably by the players. Rent probably cheap there. That's fair. Rent is probably cheap. Rent is probably cheap if your apartment is permanently on fire, but who knows? I mean, if literally every apartment is on fire, then that shouldn't matter because they're all competing against each other. Kripos patch was only 1 month after DE release. Okay, but I swear in the beta that they weren't 4x4. Guess I'm wrong about that. Yeah, free heating during the winter. Do you need that in Greece? How cold does Greece get during the winter? I'd imagine it's quite temperate at its coldest. People shooting guns occasionally in their neighborhood just to keep the rent down. So it's an American thing. Didn't affect Nightline, really. You're very cold in Greece, okay. It's mountainous mostly. Okay, well on top of the mountains then. Okay, that makes sense if it gets cold. Yeah, then maybe the fires will keep you warm. This is a mountainous. Does this look mountainous? I don't think there's a single hill on the map. There's a couple of small hills. Okay, there's a couple of small hills. But this does not look particularly mountainous. So, feudal on the way for Barles, and what are we going to have here? Yep, immediate workshop and rams for Shulk. What's more valuable, doing the TC first or the workshop and rams first to get to the trade workshop? Because I fear that this slows down your TC by a lot and also precludes you from doing horse collar. So only Bosaw here for Shulk. Here is the ram. Ram looking to ram through the walls, and we will have horse collar on the way from Shulk. And Barles up to the feudal age. Okay, Barles up to feudal. What is that skirmisher? This is the mercenary Peltast. It is one of the Greek units you train at the mercenary camp. It is similar to a skirmisher. It does not have an attack bonus against archers, it just has more normal pierce attack, so kind of more general purpose. But does still have an attack bonus against cav archers, and of course has pretty high pierce armor, so it resists arrow attacks. So still an anti-archer unit. So this is from Lydia. Where is Lydia? Other than Skyrim. So lots of vills coming forward along with the ram. 8 vills, that mercenary. And then the scout can look for the trade workshop, which apparently can be hard to scout from what I've heard. There he goes though, finding it. High base accuracy 2. The mountains influence the weather pattern. In winter, the cold is usually not long in Greece, but it can be harsh. Sporadically with housing and streets designed for, or especially with housing and streets designed for warmer weather. So the first coins were invented, allegedly. Okay. The YouTube comment about Bitcoin crashing is maybe displayed characteristically by the map having everything on fire. TC going up for Shulk in the middle. He's going to be cooing booming with the second TC in the middle. Okay, near that workshop to protect it. It's Western Anatolia. Okay, so modern Turkey. Scout Cav can't get in. Just looking around, just looking, just passing. Sees that Barles hasn't attempted to break out. And see if the Peltast can do anything. It's going to deter the scout. Force it away from the walls and could maybe hit the lumber camp if he wants to. Not having scouted that though. Just missed it. Yeah, I can tell because my left arm is also the one where I've had shoulder problems. I can tell I'm going to be sore from this tetanus shot I got today. Looking forward to the Alexander expansion. Nice. One day I hope we're going to have proper AoE 2 campaigns again. And not like Three Kingdoms or Chronicles campaigns. I've heard the Chronicles campaigns are good, but I just want AoE 2 campaigns. Without no branching decisions. No weird mechanics, just good old AoE 2. I was curious to see more of having some neutral stuff. Okay, Siege Tower with the Sickle Swordsman and some Vills for Barles. Yeah, I think there's actually a lot of room to explore neutral stuff in map scripting, but it's hard to pull off because of the restrictions of Vills not being able to fight Gaia units or being forced to repair buildings instead of attacking them. But there's a lot more we probably could do. Could have very easily done without the branching stuff. I didn't actually play them, but maybe that is true. We'll have scale mail armor on the way. That'll come from Barles.
Hey, wait.
Market on the way up for Shulk.
Buruhanas. Kuluketar.
Pacer? Bereiter?
Hey, wait.
What do the sickle sword warriors represent? So the sickle warriors are like an obuk. Their attack strips armor. So why the sickle does that, why the sickle is similar to the hammer?
Yeah.
Well, I guess they're two symbols that go together. But in attack properties, I'm not sure.
Pacer?
Also looks more like a sword than a sickle, but... Anyway, Peltast's still running around. Ram push going for the central workshop. I didn't mention Obuk ability. Yeah, I don't know, but that's what chat has told me, and I know that a lot of people in chat have been practicing for the community event, so... I will trust their insights into this unit. So Castle Age on the way for Shulk, but it's already in for Barles, and he has a Mangonel out to attack the Ram. And Barles is down by about 2,000 resources. He destroys the Ram, though. And made to hook behind armor edges. Okay, so it's like going fishing, kind of. You hook and you pull.
Yeah.
Thracians had something similar, and the Dacians had an even more extreme version. Okay. And okay, I was just gonna ask, do you need to destroy buildings to take the control of the workshop? And the answer is no, you don't need to destroy buildings. You just need to be within its range. And the Mangonels will start working on that tower. The sickle swordsman will attack the building. The description in game says they're good against buildings. I don't know how true that is. Peltasts and a tower there, trying to protect the vills who are going for the castle. Barles will see if he can get some kills. And Mangonel hitting the vills. Vills going down. Ooh, this could be a disastrous castle for Shulk. He's down to equal vill numbers now, and that is dropping. Dropping like flies. Dropping like vills to Mangonels, another hit. Oh, a couple more big hits. One Mangonel down, the Peltast is finally doing some work. He can get another shot off, he can. Oh, 4 more kills. Remember when he had a vill lead? Barles is gonna sacrifice some vills too, but... that was hard to watch. Oh, the humanity. Oh, hello, Lidicor. How is your... fall in Ithaca going?
Yeah.
Have you gotten used to the gorges yet? Have you started getting your winter supplies yet? Honestly, the fall semester isn't that bad. The spring semester is really the cold one. And it'll be December when it's pretty cold. Can't wait for the 3rd Chronicles involving the confusing mess that was post-Alexander's death's world politics. I'm sure that'll be very confusing. So Bowsaw on the way. Was the plan for Shulk here make like 2 TCs and boom up? The plan for Shulk was control the middle, control the trade workshop. And he's still kind of there with the castle, but he's not going to have that Kuman's booming eco lead that he wanted. He's adding more TCs now, just as a change in plan after getting pushed. Surprisingly warm. Yeah, it's very warm. It's very warm. Over the summer, like if you're there over the summer, you face the Barles Mangonel the chicken in his ville. You face the difficulty that all the apartments there do not have air conditioning, because students are not there over the summer, and they have to struggle to fill it with people who are temporarily there. And then it have incredibly hot summers with triple digits, pretty common, and no air conditioning. So during the days, you spend your days on campus in the air-conditioned buildings. And Barles is doing it. He is repairing the stable This does nothing. The stable is immortal anyway, but he can repair it for free. Yours does. Oh, that you found a luxurious one. There are some that do. But a lot of them don't. Some of the newer ones probably do, but the ones that have been there for a while will not. There's been a lot of gentrification of the more outer areas of College Town with new apartment buildings going up, at least over the last 10 years or so. Yeah. Real estate projects have definitely expanded since I was first there. So petards here for Shulk. And, oh, petards for Barles. Okay, double petard play. Let's go. Equal vil numbers. Yeah, older one's getting renovated. Mangonel's hitting the peltasts. I remember when my rent was like $700 a month. That was so cheap back then. I looked at the apartment listings just to see, and then the apartment rent has doubled to like $1,400 a month now, due to some minor renovations and inflation. In 10 years since you were in Ithaca. Yeah, okay, so with the ram push, Barles will retake control of the workshop, and that petard will sit behind the ram, so if the ram destroys the castle, I don't have to. Oh, but now the ram's not there anymore, and the petard will not hit the castle. So Mangonel behind the castle to defend from the rams. That's kind of cheap in Ithaca for a standalone apartment. This was a studio apartment though. But yeah, that's got to be cheap nowadays. That would have been really expensive like years ago, but nowadays that's very lucky to find something that cheap. And turds go down. And that's before like parking or any other fees or whatnot. Because you probably got to add in like trash removal fees. Another castle going up here for Shulk. 800 to 900 gets you a room in the shared apartment. That sounds about right. Just call them luxury apartments and charge more. Yep. So Huskarl time. Huskarl's coming forward for Barles. I trade a few from his castle, but walled out as Shulk goes for another castle. Control of this trade workshop, you can't even see it behind the castle, but is crucial because of how much it actually gives you in resources. And we can see 2k extra resources for Shulk. He was pushed off the middle and took a ton of damage. We saw all those vils he lost. But now, because he's had that workshop, because he got that castle in just the right spot, he's been able to hold on. And right now is a good score lead over Barles. Barles trying to do a few more rams. He was so close to destroying that castle, needed maybe 2 or 3 more petards, but didn't pull it off, and now it's been repaired. And Shulk's ready to click up to Imp, and he'll have double castle treb production, ready to treb this down. You're lucky, like, your mortgage is based higher than your rent used to be in your tiny, tiny apartment, because probably the same, because the landlords always raise the rent. Yep. That's one of the housing problems I've been hearing about, that during like the COVID time, people had very high rate mortgages that they've been hoping to refinance, but since the rates haven't gone down, that's not been possible for them. What does a trade workshop do? It generates resources. You get a trickle of resources from holding it. It's like the Plenty Vault from Age of Mythology. And it swaps hands by whoever's near it. And oh, wait, what do we have here? We have 3 Huskarls in a siege tower going for... Oh, the outposts change hand based on if you're near them too. Okay, I didn't realize that. Yeah, they change hands. We have a clandestine Huskarl raid. Only 3 Huskarls though. If this were like 10 Huskarls, or villagers to do more Huskarls, that could be scary. Where's he going? Where's Barles going with that? He's turning around. You're building apartment complexes out of cardboard? Yep. At least cardboard's better than asbestos. Okay, one more petard push. This time with 5 rams. Petards are there. The castle down to 1,000 hit points, but Kipchaks and Mangonel's here to defend. The Vils need to repair Shulk needs to repair the castle. He might lose it. Another petard is there, and the castle does indeed go down. But a great cause for Barles is he is staying in the castle age. He's not going imp. And it won't be double castle petard production, but it will, or treb production. And it will be single castle imp GG called for Barles as Shulk ties it 1-1. Barles saying I can't fight someone when he's imp and he's that far ahead of me. And GG for Shulk, the Kuman boom. Barles almost managed to punish it, but not quite enough. Needed a few more tiles of map control just to be able to grab that trade workshop. Killed so many vills in that castle, but just not enough. The Sardis continues to prove to be an interesting map. Bit of a slow build up at the start, but followed by some wonderful pushes. Imagine EU renting is light years better than the US. I can very well envision that. Although my experience EU renting was Berlin over 10 years ago, which has probably gotten a lot more expensive since then too. So that's 1-1. Let me just get the ad between the games. And again, if you want to watch without ads between the games, which I mean, you're not missing anything, but you can always watch on YouTube too, where we're streaming in 4K. So, ad being played, and GG. So let's see this. Update the Sardis win for Shulk. And so that has turned our best of 5 into a best of 3. 23 eco kills, yeah, and he still lost. So thank you all for tuning in. Nice to have 200 plus viewers on Twitch and another 50 plus on YouTube at this time of night when I don't usually stream that much. But lovely to have you all here. And let's get into this next game. So Barles Shulk game number 3 on Tulau. Alright, game number 3. And here we are. Once more, we will place Barles in the red. So Barles will be playing as the red Berbers. Shulk will be playing as the blue Celts. Now, if you recall from King Boo's confusion earlier, this map, last time we had the event, was played regicide with a fortified tower. This time it is a standard 3 villager start. So we'll have 2 houses and some water buffalo taken here from Shulk. Celts could be ready to Huang Rush. And we do have a fixed version of the map. The shorefish that had been missing is no longer missing. A Rapture pat on the back for fixing that. Or whoever that was, if it was Marita or Bazi or whoever fixed that, thank you for fixing it. And we'll have more vills coming out from the TC. Those are box turtles, not shorefish. They're reskinned shorefish. Reskinned shorefish.
Kid. Forgere. Erlov.
Vills will come over to the wood lines. They'll start chopping away at those trees. We're not saying anything about the turtles. I'm just saying that they're the same thing as shorefish. That's kind of an awkward, very far forward WaRRioR for Barles. Yeah, he's got to be careful Shulk doesn't see him, and Shulk might just see him. I mean, Shulk may be tempted to lame if he goes another tile forward. Ooh, just missed seeing it, just missed seeing that. And in the shadows, Barles will manage to bring the boar safely home. Hey, box turtles are pretty cool. If I were a shorefish, I wouldn't mind being compared to a box turtle. They're turtles. It's like Barles has a bunch of sheep under his TC. Oh, thank you, Big Clown 66, for following during the clown games. Alright, and so these trees on the outside, they do have 200 wood each, so you gotta chop through essentially 4 layers of trees to get to the outside. Scout Cav running around. And unlike fish, box turtles deserve a bounding box. I think shorefish have a bounding box too. You gotta turn on the fish borders mod, and then all box turtles have bounding boxes. Everything is boxy. My favorite though are the cube fish that bob up and down. Those are really cute. Right, and Loom on the way for Shulk. And dock in the middle from Barles. So Barles going to dock, Loomless dock. And we'll try to make some fishing ships. Another wild boar on the outside for Shulk to go take. He will turn around and grab it. And bring it back in. And okay, at least he killed it with the Vils and not the TC. Does the West not have a relic? Oh. Okay, this could have been an admin re for Barles then. Yes, there's no relic on his side of the map. Yes, okay, let me then say another bug report. Oh, let me alt tab to my Discord. So, Barles versus Shulk Game 3. The western corner of Ulo did not spawn a relic. I guess the player base was just too close and occupied the spot. I can just grab a screenshot of that mini map then. Thank you. Do some live bug reporting and try to get that fixed in the future. But yeah, had we noticed this live, this I think definitely could have been an admin re. And Barles will be down a relic. Does it matter if killed with Vils versus TC? Unfortunately, not anymore for the boars. They removed the risk of shooting with the TC, so it's no longer the fun fancy trick it used to be. Now it's just you do it because you can do it. And so we'll have Butilage on the way, both from Shulk and from Barles. And we'll have a dock in the middle. Both. And it will be Shulk who gets up slightly faster. Usually doing the earlier dock means you go up kind of a bit slower because you have to walk pretty far to get there. And you're not getting the fishing ships out right away. And we'll see the faster feudal from Shulk, who won't be able to do 2 docks right away because of the barracks. And we'll see if now he follows up with a second dock. Or with ships. Or with an archery range. Or, I mean, even with a stable maybe if he has fish for food. You love the ANHK mods. Yeah, some of those mods have really cute icons for relics and boars and stuff. I enjoy them. And, oh, okay, the Vill's going to use the water buffalo to let the militia in. And the water buffalo will hold the gate open in case they need to get out. Well, the scout will go capture that now. Is this a good thing or a bad thing for the men-at-arms? Ooh, they have to keep that buffalo under their control. Yeah, they're gonna run out. This is such a tiny enclosure that there's no way for the men-at-arms to do damage. With how much is covered by the town center. And they would just stay trapped were they to stay within. That tiny wall there would basically force any pressure to be under the TC, and you can even mill the berries from under the TC. And now House coming up, trying to stop the men-at-arms from breaking through the wall. They'll have to run back, and we'll have a double-bit axe. And a watchtower on the way up. Fire galley running around. One of those little villages from Asterix and Obelix. I have no idea what that is, but I know that the Le Grand Fossé map is based on that. Everyone always tells me about it, and I'd never seen it. Your name is Donald Farquhar, not Inigo Montoya, though. Thank you for the sub and the Princess Bride reference. And now the real question is, are you left-handed or right-handed? Or perhaps even ambidextrous? And a bunch of them. I guess that's probably not an American thing. So some repairs on the fires here. And more fires on the way out for Shulk. So tower to defend his fishing villagers. I like that. Gives him a bit of a spot to repair, even though Barles is ahead in numbers now. Even in the clown tournaments, it seems like we cannot avoid fire galleys and small ponds. Play left-handed to give people a chance. I know some people who are left-handed play AoE2 still, like, with the right hand on the mouse. Okay, ooh, demo. Where will it go? Where will it go for all 3 fires? Ooh, that was a sick demo hit. Didn't get a Vil, though, but that Vil will burn to a crisp without the fire defense. And double repairs on this fire against 4 fire galleys. I don't think that's enough. Yeah, down it goes. The Vils have to hop into the tower. Now, the fire galleys could stand in murder hole's range to destroy the tower, but that makes him extremely vulnerable to demos. Just like that. Probably could have done a better job hitting both of them, but does hit them. More demos on the way. And oh, the spear. The spear gonna get a poke. And this might just be an overzealous murder holes that leads to your fire galleys getting blown to bits. We get skirms next. Fire galleys into skirms on a hybrid map. And here's the demo. Here's the demo. Boom. Okay, only gets 1. Not the best pathing on that demo. Nilly saved that second fire for a moment, but the archer will come and almost finish it off. Tower will get some arrows on it, and 10 HP it survives. So on the outside we have a scout and a couple of water buffalo being picked up by Shulk. Lots of water buffalo being picked up by Shulk, who has managed to chop through and get to the outside. And we'll do a middle on the berries and the deer. So over here, just we have Barles chopping out. Trying to take the hill. And that is a nice hill for him, but Barles will win the scout fight. Shulk unable to even use the hill to win, but did get the scout down to 1 HP. See, that could matter if Barles isn't going to go monks and heal it. Fletching and Castle Age on the way now for Barles. Some fire galleys pop out. Start attacking this fire galley from Shulk. They were Gauls living in the north of France, and they were part of a village Kaiser tried to conquer but never succeeded. That's what all the Roman camps are for in Le Grand Fossé, I guess. In order to remain independent, they travel all over the known world and have adventures. They travel over the known world. That sounds pretty big for Northern Gaul. So we shall have another TC going up here for Barles. Barles is the Berbers doing a TC. More palisades going up. We'll have a lumber camp going up too for Shulk. Did brutal things. Okay, we're gonna have to play New Vegas before the next Fallout series comes out. But the first season was decent enough. I think I'll at least watch the second one. And inspire people to use their Prime subs. Alright, so he will have Castle Age on the way for Shulk. Still some buffaloes under the TC. Nice numbers of buffaloes he's been taking from the outside. Tower will finally go down to the fire ships, and Barles will try to get the dock, but again, another good demo. Archers need to pull back a couple of steps. Shulk, don't lose your archers, don't lose your archers. Shulk, no. I'm right-clicking for you. I'm right-clicking, I can't stream cheat for you. One archer says, ha, I'm back far enough, I'll live. Being French allows you to read the originals. It must be like speaking Klingon and reading Shakespeare. So I'll have a workshop going up. And defensive workshop from Shulk as Barles tries to break through on the outside with some crossbows. And from winning the water with a 17-3 KD. It's only a 2-0 eco KD, but Barles is ahead, has around 1,000 more resources. I've always wanted to learn how to read Latin. There's a lot of math that could then be read.
Kia.
So crossbows looking to break through that palisade. Defensive mangonel from Shulk. I don't... Ooh, will it get there before they break through? Get a nice splash on them. So wheelbarrow and bowsaw on the way for Barles. He'll have 1, 2, 3 TCs. On the outside, he's booming away. And the mangonel will look to get hit on the crossbows, and hit it shall get. The palisade goes down. One crossbow dead, and the rest have to fall back. And a non-fortified palisade will replace the hole in the wall. Not as good as the original, but will serve as a bandage. They teach Latin in the US. It'll depend on what school system you go for. It's definitely not standard. Like, I had German when I was in high school, and that is definitely not a standard thing to have. My most common foreign language would be Spanish. And then maybe your local school district would have something different. American learn languages other than English? Usually not. Usually not. The rest of the world learns English, so we don't have to learn other languages. That's been my experience usually. Having your primary language be lots of other people's secondary languages can have its benefits, but can also make you lazy. Name every language then. Python, Java, C, C++, JavaScript, Rust, Haskell, OCaml, ML, Scheme, Lisp, Fortran, COBOL. You can probably go on. You can speak more languages than that. Alright, so TC going up for Shulk. He's going to have 4 TCs now. Oh, don't remind me of Visual Basic. I had to do some VB6 programming years ago. Did anyone else have a program in VB6? You had like your editor would randomly change the capitalization of your variables, and then your commits would be filled with these senseless changes. Oh man, that was horrible. It actually made me happy to program in JavaScript because it was better. ChatGPT. Imagine if you had to answer riddles to cross a bridge, but you had ChatGPT. And maybe that's something like AIs will take away from mankind, and the ability to use riddles as passwords. VB6 as well. Yeah, I honestly I don't think I could even remember how to program in VB6 nowadays. I've just my memory has repressed it. Oh, also Barles, he is Stonewall. He has come forward to Stonewall Shulk. He's like, okay, the crossbows didn't do much, but I can Stonewall and keep you trapped as I go up to Imp. And once he gets Imp, that forward castle will give him some trebs and allow him to start hitting the TC, start trapping the castle, and Imp might win the game for Barles. He's that far ahead in resources right now. And Pascal. Okay, well, Pascal can be fun. I've never really done much Pascal. What about, what is it? Pearl. I never used that, but I had to run a script in it once. We basically had a algorithm for detecting duplicate homework submissions in case students were cheating that was written in Perl. Back in the days before generative AI. Haskell is a pleasure.
Kia.
Still hitting the monk as the monk runs away. And the hill goes down. So camel archers continue to hoover around as the mangonel needs to run and hit the camel archers. Yeah, 2 camel archers. And there probably was a time when the mangonel would be favored in that fight, but not these days. Not even the scorpion can hit them. Oh, that scorpion, it needs ballistics. It needs ballistics. These Perl scripts made by someone else to try to automate software installation on Windows XP. And it kind of worked, but was very jank. Yes. Yeah, I used Lisp for years ago when I customized my Emacs file. And there's the GG. Yeah, Imperial Age comes in. There's the GG, the mirror of the ending of last game, as Shulk finds himself on the receiving end of an Imperial Age opponent that he cannot deal with. So 26 KD. Barles winning that, just really pulling ahead in military. Nothing Shulk could do after the opening when he lost the water. And, well, Tulao, sometimes it's an interesting map, sometimes it is a Fire Galleys and Small Ponds map. And today it was Fire Galleys and a small pond. Or not all today. Today we had a really good map with John Slow. Maybe what we need is, maybe the fish should decay. Like they were boars, right? So that, like, over time, like, the water is good initially, but doesn't last as long. So you gotta fight over it right at the start. Okay, so let me just do a quick ad between the games, and then we'll get to the next one. Barles finds himself having a pretty nice lead right now. And maps. Barles winning Tulo, so he now has Kolo as his home map, and Gome as Shulk's home map. So, thank you all for watching, hope you're enjoying. And a reminder, you can always sub or use your Prime sub if you have one to help support the stream and help support the tournament. And I always appreciate the support. Just add sea creatures that decay. Wouldn't it make winning water useless? I think it depends on the rate it would decay. I think it'd be nice to have that Dark Age option of kind of choosing how to make your build order. But we don't want to have the, you win it and you auto-win. And I mean, that's always a hard thing to do for water maps, because winning the water is so great with the fish. Even without deep fish. And Mala Makina, thank you very much for the 5 bits. A nibble and a bit. And let's see, we have the next game, number 4. And it will indeed be on Ngome. Like, did my scene swap there before I wanted to swap it? Oh well. Alright, so Barles will put him in the red there. Sea rocks damage ships severely. Oh, that was a if you have a real old YouTube video I had on the Gwyndalgard campaign, when you put your heroes in a transport ship and you had to bring them over to a small island that had a relic on it, the relic of Earth to grab. And they were razorfish like these that jumped up and down, and you had to sail around and avoid sailing on top of the fish, because if you sailed on the fish, they'd sink your transport. And then your heroes would die and you'd lose. So that's the thing I've seen before. Anyway, the map is Ngome. You'll have TCs being built. Again, you can build as many TCs as you want, starting in the Dark Age. So we're not going to see Kumans on this map. I see them on Sardis instead. And TCs, oh, both players going more towards the middle, going for some stone access, going for some shorefish with the TCs. Okay, Barles with a different idea, not TCing the wood, he instead will TC the shorefish. Okay, will mean he needs a lumber camp, but I guess he does the lumber camp right away. The Marlin micro dodging them when they jump. Yeah, but you definitely can't do stuff like that in the scenario editor, like place some sea rocks and say, hey, don't sail over the rocks, you'll damage your transport. Or like the Sea of Worms from Vinland Saga. Remember that, the Sea of Worms? How scary it was, you'd sail out there and your ships would just be destroyed? That was a terrifying, nightmare-inducing scenario to me as a kid. Now it's just a super cute dragon on the minimap. Yeah, this is the Viking scenario where you can't go into the deep water, yep. With the dragon. And the trigger is kind of overextended so that if you're walking like down the western coast of the northern UK, down Scotland, at the bottom of the map, where you had raided to get gold, if you go too far, then your heroes die. I think Viper lost his hero like that in one of the campaign videos. Yeah, after the game, well, after you defeated Greenland, they revealed it for you. That was awesome. Yeah, when Iceland reveals it. Hello, fortune teller. And hello, Aboit again. How you doing? If you were actually, it didn't instant destroy your transports. So if you were actually really quick and timed it properly, you actually could sail through the ice at the north of Greenland and make it through. I think it actually was possible to do that if you got it perfect. And then that was when the deer attacked your outpost, and when Ornlu the wolf spawned. Yeah, that was a classic. When we were attacking, yeah, exactly, Wise Turtle. How hard is scripting in AoE 2? Does it use its own programming language? With scripting, what do you want to script? If you want to script AIs, that uses a language that is very similar to something that was used in like the 80s for doing satellites and stuff. It's called an expert system. That is very, very simple, but the simplicity means that you probably want some type of preprocessor to do anything with it. Random map scripts are basically their own configuration file. It's less like programming and more like, I don't know, kind of like HTML. And that is very hacky too. I've developed my own preprocessor and macro scripts for that too over the years. If you want to make something that is a very basic map, you can do it. If you want to make something that is a very well-polished map, like modern tournament quality that never breaks and always works, and doesn't have to do admin reads in the middle of your live stream, then it's very difficult. And as we've seen so far today, even maps that, you know, people who are experienced at doing map scripts for and have worked on for a while still have some bugs in them. Like that missing relic on Tulo in the previous game, so it can definitely be a challenge for sure. Looks very lispy. It looks very lispy, but that's just because of the parentheses. It's not a functional language at all. It is, especially with the all of the very low-level things that Scripter added to it. Kind of assembly-like. That's honestly what I compare it to more than anything. You were scared of the dark fog of war. Vinland Saga captured that well. Yeah, if you have the original CD, the AoE 2 actually came with Microsoft Word documents that explained the scripting languages and the map scripting syntax. So, Feudal Age for Barles, while Shulk is staying in the Dark Age and continuing to add more TCs. Ooh, he added a TC on the outside, on the shorefish on the outside. Haven't seen this yet. That's cute. I guess the TC protects your vills from enemy warships. Was a decent amount of AoE 2 done in assembly? Not really. It was done in C++ with, I guess, some small bits of assembly added in, but it was mostly C++. So it's not like it's not Roller Coaster Tycoon. Is this the first time someone built a dock inside? You mean inside over here? We see that a lot. Inside over here, not the first time, but we have seen that before. Again, there are 7 relics here, but we never see players go for them. It's simply way too tedious to build a monastery, build monks, build a transport ship, put the monks on the transport, transport the monks over here, pick up relics, put them back on the transport to the other side, put them in the monastery, and then go transport back, pick up more relics, and bring them back again. And by that time, you're microing so much else, you've forgotten about it. You figure if you had at least 3 monks, you figure any number of monks, it might be worth it if you win this water over here. It's just free relics. The Malians, Burmese are civs. Malians make more sense as the hybrid water map civ. Burmese makes sense if you're gonna YOLO a Rambai castle drop somewhere. Maybe hope you have enough food from the 2 TC start to go elephants. Maybe you want the free wood upgrades as you're heading up and want the economy. So double dock on the eastern body of water from Barles. We'll have a single dock there from Shulk. SC1 defaults to 640 by 480 while AoE has 800 by 600 resolution. Yeah, I think AoE 1 was smaller than AoE 2 by its default resolution. That might have been 640 by 480. I have the CD. I'll need to check that and remember. I haven't been able to get the original Age of Kings running without any patches, but AoE 1, if you have a CD drive, you can put the original CD in, and boom, it works. AoE 2, I always just have AOC with the user patch now, though. Yeah, there was a Reddit post where Matt talked about it. I think a lot of the, like, some key parts of the graphics code were written in assembly to optimize them. Well, most of the game is C++. One day we'll have an RTS game written in Rust, and we can all enjoy progress in programming language design since the 90s. So, forward Vil from Shulk. He will discover the Vils coming forward for a castle from Barles. Won't finish the outpost, though. Oh, he's going to hide behind the dock. Hello there, Vil. We see you there. Hopefully Shulk remembers him there. The MIDI sounds of AoE 1. Yeah, AoE 1 had 2 soundtracks. There was the... the Red Book audio from the CD, but you needed to have the CD in the CD drive to work. If you didn't have the CD in, then there was a backup MIDI soundtrack that would play. Last good RTS was SC2, and that's now 15 years ago. Yep. I never even played that. I saw Stormgate. I don't know if Lidicor is still around. Had come out, but that just never looked very interesting to me. I don't know, and I could never really get into it. I tried it a bit in the beta. So here come Arambai. So as I said, Burmese are the Arambai civ, and we'll see what Barles is able to pull off with them. He's down by around 20 Vils, and that can happen due to just small differences in your build order in this map. Shulk has stonewalled out the Arambai. And he's actually stonewalled the entire map. Just needs to do a little bit over here on the west, and he's completely safe. There he goes. And maybe do a couple fires here to prevent transports. But he is good. Another forward castle from Barles, but Shulk can probably wall behind that again if he wants to. You can't build a monastery right next to the relics. That is rock terrain. But Barles is showing the difficulty of how idle your monks are going to be as you go back and forth. And oh no, he sent the transport without a monk on it. He's gotten 1 relic. This is a struggle in itself to get the relics when you're going for castle drops and microing your Arambais. Needs to go build a... Ooh, he needs to finish the castle, then do another mining camp, maybe keep the Vils busy. Shulk floating 2k gold. Barles a bit more well organized because he used the market first on the economy. If you play enough of this map and get a feel for organizing your economy, I think you're going to be doing really well. But it's definitely a struggle, and he will have Shulk going for a forward castle, looking to pressure on the mainland. And maybe he says, Barles, you can do the hard work of picking up all the relics, and I'll destroy your monastery and take them from you. And so 2 castles in the middle. We'll have Imperial Age on the way from Barles, and he'll be ready to get Trebs out again. Barles looking for more Treb fights. You remember AoE2's tutorial campaign with someone trying to read dialogue translations? In Poland, it is usually we weren't getting game translations. They were pirate versions with fan translations. Oh my gosh. I'm probably still better than DE's remade voice acting. What is this ping I have on Discord? Yes. The sheep are always far. Probably normal. And hello, Spindom, how you doing? What's this tour? This is Stronghold Frenzy, where we have a bunch of walled maps. Crazy walled maps that the clowns have designed. So after all this time, Barles with 2 relics, where's the second one? Studio and monastery in there. Now has 2 more monks. Needs a few more trips back and forth to get all 7. But he's on his way. It's peak clowning, yes. And fun to watch, awful to play? Perhaps. I'd say fun to play too if they have walls. Imperial Age on the way for both. And Barles is up. He goes, we'll have Bowsaw and Horse Collar on the way too. You only get to choose one of those things? I think we can achieve both. Alright, there are the double relics going into the inner monastery. And okay, 1 more monk and then 1 more trip. That's what he needs. Well, Shulk with the score lead, he's just about up to imp himself now. Barles will have an advantage by 1 trebuchet in this treb war. However, it looks like maybe with the dock, Shulk could do chemistry and then do cannon galleons. Barles docking in the south. Malians will get normal cannon galleons, no elite. And they do not have galleon, they do not have bracer. So not a particularly good water sieve, no shipwright, no elite cannon galleon. No even siege engineers, that applies to cannon galleons now. Does a player ball and land with only 1 CD? I think you could have 3 players on per CD. I think that was it. The Siege Workshop on the way for Shulk. So you had, they gave you a limited ability to share 1 CD around and have a LAN party. I miss the days when you could do that. All players needed half a CD. Rather than half a player needing a CD. Well, it's the same ratio of CD to player there. Okay, this castle being trebbed down. Barles quick with his trebs, but Shulk, no slouch on the treb numbers either. He's got 3 trebs, and at this point you probably look at both players as losing their castles. As we'll undoubtedly get a 4th treb out from Shulk. As long as he repairs, 4 trebs should be a bit too much for Barles to deal with. Honestly, 3 trebs will be too much if he only has 3 repair bills. Now Shulk has to be careful to make sure he doesn't lose his treb. He needs to repair this treb, doing a defensive gate to absorb some missed shots in front of the treb. Wants to make sure he doesn't lose it. As here come our Rambais. 4 trebs, and now our Bombard Cannon is out. Bombard Cannon is out, and this treb really does need some repairs soon. Don't want a missing treb shot hitting it. The trebs are hitting the trees, and down it goes, down it goes. A mistake from Shulk not to repair, and the Rambais will now get in on that Bombard Cannon, thanks to the treb cut from Barles. A nice jump of the cannon, as he'll unpack the treb to try to keep it alive against all the Pierce attack. But here comes a villager going to attack. Villager being very valuable. And now we're asking where are the cannon galleons here. In the other side of the map, though, we do have a treb push. Now, the western side is valuable because of the wood. The eastern side is valuable because of the 7 relics. The 7 relics that Barles so tediously has now transported over, and if he loses, they will be free for the taking of Shulk with much less micro. As we're getting War Galley from Shulk, and he's moving cannons out over here, that 1 cannon could take out the treb and cause a lot of problems for Barles. Right now, the castle's still being repaired, and treb's coming forward. Yeah, there was actually an official no-CD version of AoE 2. There was a later on a DVD re-release. I have that too, so I officially have a no-CD patch. Oh, the Arambais are getting in after that castle in Treb War was lost by Shulk. His villagers now will be massacred by the Arambai. He has some vills to lose, though. He's up by 50, and he's trying to attack the Arambai with trebs. That is not quite working. Malians might have trouble dealing with Arambai in large numbers, and Malamakina, thank you very much for the follow. We're closing in rapidly on that 14k follower number. And Sanctity and Block Printing on the way for Barles. He needs to go Monk. Maybe too little, Monk too late. Gonna lose his first relic. Bombard cannons now out here for Barles. Trying to push these trebs back. Barles will have the better cannons in the long run. Ooh, don't lose your trebs like that. Shulk, not paying attention to the cannon. And getting his own cannon out, but that treb will take damage. The cannons have accuracy, and the cannon not destroyed in one shot. Will be destroyed in a second shot, though. Both players neglecting their micro. But Barles so far is still managing to hold on the mainland. 88 vills to 141, though. Shulk needs to make sure he doesn't completely lose wood access, and that he doesn't completely lose the treb war. And 4 trebuchets to 2, and these 2 cannot be repaired because of the nearby Arambais. And it's only a matter of time before enough treb shots land that the trebs go down. Or that the Arambai javelins, or not javelins, they're darts, that's the word I'm looking for. The darts take them out, and down they go. Down they go, and that's rough for Shulk as Barles takes the score lead, and Barles' trebs have not been denied. As Arambai shooting Arambais. Okay, over here, the push has been stalled out, and that still is 6 relics for Barles, who could go pick up that one and grab a 7th. Now it's 154 vills to 90 vills. Shulk somehow has to turn his villagers into army. How does he fight Arambais, though? He has 50 on food. Maybe the play would be stables and Farimba light cav. They could deal with small numbers of Arambai groups and then push the trebs. With all the food he has, maybe that could be an option. The other option is skirmishers, and maybe that's what he's going for. I mean, skirms are the best unit in the game. Malians simply won't have bracer. It'd be much less effective because of that. Barles wanted to transport ship. No going there. Fast fire is already on the pond for Shulk. I still have no idea what's happening in this game. Feels like Shulk should be ahead if he can only get enough. He's going hand cannoneers. Only get enough army out. Gebettos, he's housed with 160 pop space. He's lost his base in the bottom thanks to oh, actually, no, he didn't do a base there. He just did TC in the north. Never had a base in the bottom. Barles now has occupied that part of the map. There is padded archer armor for Shulk. Trebs hitting the castle. And he's forever housed. Absolutely forever housed. He's housed on 148 vills. Okay, he has 200 pop space now. Maybe that'll go away. Yep. Down to 180 now. The castle crumbles and cannot turn his population or his food into military. Trying in desperation to do a panic TC to save his vills from Aramba, but the Arambai are there. They're stalking the vills. How many vills will go down? Will all of them go down? That's quite a few Arambais. Will the TC go up? It's only at 30%. Well, Shulk will call the GG first, and Barles will win 3-1. 3-1. 77-21 KD. Eco, Shulk was ahead in Eco, but this map is so tricky to get your balance correct. And the Arambai push from Barles worked out. You've seen so many different approaches to this map, other than Sicilians that we see all the time, the TCs, but GG, he overboomed. Overboomed. Answer that DM after the stream. So let's give a win over here for Barles, up 3-1. And the map still be a loss for Shulk on his home map of Ngome. So our next set, our final set for the night, will be FreakinAndy versus WaRRioR. So stay tuned of that coming up next. Let me grab their draft. So update my YouTube title. Mostly just one group of voice actors, so there's Half-Life 1 Polish translation with the same voices. You can hear that in a lot of English games too, kind of repetition of voice actors, especially among games by the same publisher. Like if you ever played Crimson Skies, the main voice actor there, same voice actor for Arcantos in Age of Mythology. Grabbing a draft. And then Andy, a WaRRioR. Here we go. Alright, let me me just swap my scenes over. I'll take a quick break myself, and we'll be right back for our third set of the day. FreakinAndy against WaRRioR. So I'll be right back. All right, you know what? I unmuted, which also Reaper crashed at the same time. So, there we are. All right. So we're unmuted. So we're good now. All right, so game number 1. You'll have to do a John Boy breakdown of what I was saying. All right, so where are we? There we go. Can we see red versus orange, chat? Do I need to change the colors, or can we go red versus orange? Maybe we go WaRRioR in blue. We go blue versus orange. We little Mets colors. Oh, is there black terrain added to the middle? Oh my gosh, and I guess I mentioned that you could siege tower over the walls, so someone added bushes to prevent that. Well, now you can chop through the bushes and siege tower over the walls. I still don't know why the mountain is surrounded by walls. If someone has an answer to that, you can tell me. Red versus blue. We'll do orange versus blue. We'll celebrate the New York Mets Titanicing again at the end of the season. Whoever gets in those walls is crowned King Clown. There's a terrible monster god demon living in the mountain, which is kept out by the wall. Maybe that explains it. Maybe that's where Smaug lives. Or a hoard of gold, like a mountain garden. It's a sacred burial site on top of the mountain. So I think we'll go blue-orange. I think this is plenty different enough. And Andy always picks orange, so we'll leave him in his color. There's water on the outside. There are no fish or anything. That's more just for the sake of looking pretty. But you can dock and take the oysters. If you want to go fishing ships for the oysters, I've never seen someone do that. I don't know if it's worth it, but you can do it. Also, in the middle, you need to make sure that you know what the map is, because there are Komodo dragons there. But these Komodo dragons are actually huntable. They have 200 food on them, so you can send your hunters out to take them. You also have a merchant as a scout. Why? Just varying the scout. Dragon meat sounds tough. Although that's true, the dragon doesn't live on the mountain. The dragons are surrounding it. Maybe the people who live in the mountain just didn't want the dragons taking over, so they built a wall and some gruesome bushes and added some black terrain masking, so the dragons didn't come steal their treasure. I think these aren't wolf-like creatures, though. I don't think this is just resource delta. I think these are reskinned chickens. Or reskinned deer, because you can push them in somehow. And, yeah. That's not a wolf. It's not attacking anything. So it should be hunters. Let me just double-check in-game. Capture Age doesn't say what they are. And yeah, they are indeed hunters. They are indeed hunters when I check in the game. So they are hunters, even though Capture Age doesn't display different villager tasks. Like I click on a lumberjack, it still calls them a villager. It's a volcano? Maybe. I mean, it also looks... I have no idea what this is. The black terrain? Is that like dried up lava? Black terrain is like the canonical use for it is something like on what's the map? Canberra, where it's the small circle for the sudden death map, and you have all that extra terrain on the outside that's just black to make the map smaller. Kind of less necessary now with being able to change the map size, but sometimes I think it's nice for the small maps like Socotra not to change the map size. Not to change the map size, just to leave the outside kind of large and barren to give you more of a sense of scale of how small it is. But that's just me. People probably have different aesthetic tastes. Yeah, they don't have that legendary 60 res per minute gather rate, unfortunately. You can do that though, as you said. The Jaguars on Jaguar Den had that. If you remember that game where Milmano was Jaguar rushed, he unfortunately wasn't able to collect all that food. Yep, more farms going up around the TC. Here we are. Who are we rooting for? I think whatever we're doing, we're going to root for 5 games. Because it's 8 PM and I've casted 2 sets already. So we're at a pretty good pace so far for casting. Haven't even had to speed up. Makar creation with triggers, then kills it instantly equals an explosion. Yeah, that's how... I have a video on my YouTube about that, too. It's about how to make explosions in the scenario editor. It's for whatever reason, the birds, the hawks, the macaws, whatever, when they die, there's an explosion as the death animation. So stuff like Roll the Dice with all those explosions in the middle, or TTF Racing, where I think the mini game where you have to time your run through the course with the explosions. That's or I guess there are a couple like that. Yeah, all that's done with birds. You either make a trigger where you create and kill the bird, or you give birds you mod them to have 0 HP, and then when they are created, they instantly die and they explode. In AoE 1, there was the bug in the release of the Rise of Rome that was fixed in later versions of Rise of Rome, where your villagers could hunt birds and they'd explode, and nothing would happen, but they could do it. So I have the original CD version of that, but in the later re-release version that's fixed. Yeah, I do have a video about it. Wasn't there a guy who was Jaguar rushed but Magyars, and so he fended off everything? I mean that'd be the dream. That'd be the dream. There's that old video on Keller's YouTube channel about Milmano getting Jaguar rushed on Jaguar Den. So FreakinAndy up to feudal, and he is pressuring forward with the militias. We'll see if he turns them into men-at-arms. He has 3 of them, and he did go for fishing ships for the oysters, so a fishing ship and a villager on the outside, and he is not going to be taking any of the gold, just will be pushing. So Andy, I think, one of the highest level players here. I forget if he got extra... He should have gotten extra bonus points for some... Has he played in previous walled events? I know he played in Sudden Disaster. I forget if he got bonus points, but he's, I think, one of the top players in the event. Probably Andy, Jordan, and Doubt, some of the big names who signed up. Yeah, you could hunt the birds that flew across the map. Yeah, that was never a thing in Age 2. It was only in that one version of AoE 1. And it was patched in later versions. Kind of silly to think that back when you had games on CDs, there were still patches released for them. So Palisade Gate being hit by men-at-arms. They'll try to break through and maybe hit the blacksmith. Mining camp going up here for WaRRioR. And Old Man Willow, thank you very much for the sub. For 1 whole year you've been subscribed. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support as always. Are there willow trees on this map? I don't think there are any willow trees on this map. I'll take a look. More African themed, the acacia trees and the dragon trees, and then the mangrove trees, which are a different theme altogether. And then the baobab trees. But no, there are maps with willows, just not this one. Oh, I played floppy disk games. No, when I was in the 3rd grade, our school computers had not like the tiny floppies, but the large floppies. Like what were they, 8 inches? Then it went to like 8 to 3.5. But yeah, we had those ones, and I played like some, like, you had to adjust the levers to deliver the pizza. I played a game like that on those floppies. Probably from the 80s when I went to. This would have been the early aughts when I was in 3rd grade. Call the support line because it was for the internet. Ah, oh boy. If you ever dive into AOK Heaven from the early 2000s for custom scenarios, Ulio's one example where you have to click download to download a whole bunch of different files. You can't do them all at once. And the explanation in the text is given that the audio files are split up so that each download fits on a separate floppy disk, in case you wanted to save the scenario on floppy disks and like physically hand it to someone. So Andy, this is why he picks orange. He's more clandestine on the minimap. He's going for an archery range in the back of WaRRioR's base and shooting over that wood line to start hitting the vills and try to push them back. WaRRioR, no loom, and as of yet not reacting. He did go for the fast castle. He'll pull back, but lose a vill, and go for cav archers. So cav archers with fletching, Bodkin on the way. With Bodkin, they'll outrange the feudal archers. So good defense as long as he micros at this point. Double range cav archers as the Tatars. And if, ooh, what is this going to be? Andy gonna go for a tower. Okay, tower rush. Yes, he's feudal. It's the only thing he can't do. But if you get a very good mass of heavy cav archers, especially with the unique tech of silk armor for +1 pierce armor, then you take really good fights against the Vikings. And it's just when you're max popped, Arbalests, unless you can micro their +1 range in a very specific situation, right? Like you can find maybe a castle to hide under. Then the cav archers are just a better unit. So much more HP, more attack. They attack with the extra elevation bonus from Tatars too. And your +1 armor can offset the +1 attack that the Vikings will get from their unique tech. And of course, Vikings know Thumb Ring. These cav archers already have Thumb Ring, and they'll happily take a fight against feudal archers and hope to win. And not quite using the range all that well. And this is where Andy has to use that tower to try to use to shield the archers from the cav archers. And not the best micro from WaRRioR, taking some maybe unnecessary damage from the archers as Andy breaks in with the men-at-arms and will get a tower up on WaRRioR's farms. Meanwhile, WaRRioR's still microing. A skirm added in from Andy. That'll be maybe a bit scarier. map is created for Tatars, actually, in Vikings. Vikings have economy as their answer. But economy and crossbow only gets you so far, especially without thumb ring. And while you're doing everything you can to micro, Andy up 39 vills to 24 by staying in feudal. And whoa, WaRRioR. Okay, WaRRioR's gonna call the GG. So what WaRRioR's thinking here is that his cav archers have died to the point that he can't defend his lumber camp in the middle. And that lumber camp will have vills harassed by those archers, and there are 3 weak vills, so maybe this is -3 vills, he's thinking. At the same time, Andy is now towering him in the middle, and he can't get up a counter tower. He's lost vills there by the looks of it. Oh, he was trying to fight in 2 places at once and losing both. And out of frustration there, he will call the GG, down 15 vills. Yeah, he's 15 vills behind too. So said, created for Tatars, but the Vikings with their early economy. Not even with the best Dark Age economy, right? They don't have any eco bonus there other than the cheaper dock. Right, maybe the cheaper dock allowed for Andy to go for the oysters and without needing a mining camp. Yeah, looks like he was long distance mining when he went to gold in his main base. It's all dark magic. But like the Poles, as an Aussie, I'm always jealous of people who get their own civs. Say, as an American, I can share that feeling. I can also be kind of sad when they added the United States to AoE 3. That is the opposite of the point of that game. And to heat up food and it's over. That's how it's like sometimes. That's how it's like. Alright, he still call it a rage quit. That's not a rage quit. That was, he was massacred. But I live in the US. I'm a bit outside of New York City. Oh, Masty explaining the hacks in his chat. Yeah, you can tower hop on... Yeah. We have Incas. You can do Mississippians in North America. I think the problem with any type of North American civ is that when they did Aztecs and Maya, you at least have the Aztecs campaign, which is you can use Aztecs, you can use Maya, and you can use Spanish. So you have 3 civs in the campaign. If you were to do a North American civ and like only add 1 civ, you would somehow need to make a campaign out of that. And I think it's harder to get interactions between different civs. So it looks like Zimbabwe will be at number 2, map number 2. And once again, I'll put WaRRioR in the blue, so he will be the blue Bohemians. And speaking of the Inca, Andy will be playing them in the orange. So as the map always works, to the southwest, we will have some hunt of deer and bears and elephants. To the northeast, stone and gold, and some rock formations and mountains. You have wood to both sides in the back of your base, and then in each corner, there is a wood line with a relic. So best of 5, Andy up 1-0. Definitely the favorite in the set, but WaRRioR himself a very good player, trying to make it interesting. And if Bohemians get to gunpowder, there's very little the Inca can do. They do not like fighting hand cannoneers. And the Bohemians can get to them with the university in the Castle Age. You didn't like the smell of NYC in the summer. Depends where you are in NYC. Central Park can be quite beautiful in the summer. Probably crowded then, though. Look at that group of 5 of buffaloes, where he's opting to lure the deer first. Pulsive Husaria was a kind of heavy cav in Polish. There's separate Husaria, the Polish heavy cav, versus Hazarza Hussar in English. Obuk as a unique unit is a weird choice, but Folvark makes a lot of sense and the campaign is fun. The Poles do have the best of all the campaigns that were added post-original game, by far. Oh, the eagle gets in, and he almost kills the zebra. Ooh, he does get in, and he's trapped now. So, Andy, is this good or bad to have your eagle trapped? You might force an early loom out of WaRRioR. He's gonna lure the boar right away. He's gonna bring the Vil to fight the eagle. Bring another Vil out. So he really wants to get the Vil to help fight the eagle. And he does not want to let that eagle live. So Scout losing HP, and Vil going to wall to trap the eagle, do a house there. And if these Vils can come over, can they get there in time to trap the eagle? Can they do a gate? Can they get there almost? And then wait, they trap it in, and he's going to lose the Scout. Probably could have sent a Vil in there to fight it. Even without Loom, that eagle down to 11 HP. You send your Vil, like, here, and then wall behind it, and then fight. And the eagle's trapped now. And both players now, no scouts to stop them from luring rhinos and elephants from this southwestern corner, but also no scouts to find and protect from the crocodiles. You gotta be extra careful with the crocodiles, because I don't think you can quick wall in the shallow terrain. Maybe you can? I'm not sure which is on the top and on the bottom there. I'll need to test that and find out. You call a group of buffalo? I don't know, is there a collective noun for them? Yeah. I think the reason the Poles don't have a cav as their unique unit would be because the Magyars already do, and there'd be a bit of overlap there. And I guess the Lithuanians also do, and they needed to make the civs different. So there's a Vil who will get that buffalo. I don't think he can get the zebra. A herd of buffalo. That sounds correct. Herd of buffalo. And does WaRRioR... Oh my gosh, WaRRioR. Is he going to scout with a Vil? He needs to find that he has 5 water buffaloes there. Yeah, there he goes. I was going to say, if he somehow didn't find all 5 of his buffaloes, he'd have a problem. He's also not having food under his TC. We'll have to watch for any more idle time from that. He has enough food, that shouldn't be a problem, though. A bit of idle time from him, probably from chasing the zebra. 12 seconds now. Definitely a herd of buffalo. That's what it's called in AoE 3. It's called herding to get your hunt to the TC. So that makes sense. Doom now on the way for Andy. And I appreciate all you sticking around watching with us as we're doing a late night cast. But it's nice to have like 200 or so viewers here on Twitch and then some more on YouTube even at this hour. We really need to get the YouTube channel rolling again with actual like edited videos, but I hope to get to that. I have more time soon. And thank you, Infinity 291092 for the follow. Oop. Oh, elephant through the gate. Elephant through the gate. There we go. Villager, 12 HP. Andy going to shoot with other Vils. 6 HP, 1 more hit and she's dead. But Garrison's in the TC. No problem getting her back. I don't buffalo wings contain buffalo. What is... Fire's kind of glitchy there with the HP bar by it. You see what I'm seeing? That was like the fire and the HP bar don't know how to interact. I thought there were like arrows hitting the house or something there, but no. Okay, so Andy has eventually lost that eagle that had been walled in, but did some damage to the house to begin with. So Andy advanced to the feudal age, this wreck in English. To that feudal site. Is that what it's called? And then Rittard site and Imperial site. Good old translation. So deleted wall as the Vils go to fight. WaRRioR could delete 1 more wall and then fight more. Gonna build a palisade there. A palisade behind this too. And try to fight the tower. It's morning, mate, 11 AM, building a flat pack desk, listening to Twest, definitely best. Well, good morning. And Andy, yeah, he didn't wall behind this, and Andy will. Yeah, when you're gonna do this, you need to make sure that you wall behind the Vils, so that your enemy doesn't have room to pop out behind you. Or worst case, they repair from behind, but at least then they're wasting stone. More Vils over for WaRRioR. He's up to the feudal age, but difficult to repel the tower rush when you're going for a very slow, fast castle. And Andy, he plays enough Black Forest. He knows how to wall his Vils. He'll keep them safe. Even doing an extra house here to make sure no Vils walk that way and get through the walls again. And expertly walled from Andy. There's not much more you can say other than this was done perfectly now that he got the Vil inside. And, well, what does WaRRioR do? He can maybe wall off behind, counter tower. He's up to feudal now, at least. And he's just going to do a house. He needs a house because he is housed, because he lost the house on his way up. And he's going to opt to do the tower, but when he does the tower, he's not going to finish the house. And he's been housed for a long time. Oh, no, disaster. Disaster. He'll try to run his vills through the gate now that they're on the outside, but he'll lose a vill. He won't actually open the gate for the archer, at least. He needs to finish the house now. He's been housed. That idle time's accruing. He's trying to do the tower and then win the tower fight. Oof, and this has been rough. This has been rough for WaRRioR. Now he needs to be careful with his low HP vills that they're in the tower and they're going to be part of the fight. To repair the tower a bit more, maybe. At least he does have an active stone mine. And yep, he's going to send his vills over to the stone to mine it, to make sure he's not going to lose the tower fight. Make sure that he will be able to repair. So Andy's still down here chilling on the mill. Remember, the scouts were killed early, so nothing to scout that the vills are down here. Very low on HP, though, and maybe he has to be wary of any further crocodiles that might come nearby. Probably can't hunt elephants with those vills. It's exciting villager action. Always fun to see vill fights, but the trushes on walled maps still make me sad. A John Slow game with conks versus monks is what I like to see, even if devotion reared its ugly head. And now fletching on the way for WaRRioR. Bills will come back to the TC. Take some buffaloes. Towers keep shooting each other. Shooting each other, they will continue. 5 vills inside with fletching. Hill bonus still doesn't matter as far as I'm aware, tower versus tower, but does matter if you're shooting the vills. So good repair advantage if the vills pop out on the side facing the enemy tower, and with fletching they're both completely encompassing each other's bases with their range. So you need to be careful where the vills are regardless. Make sure you garrison them at the right time. However, behind all of this, the initial fast castle build setup from WaRRioR has allowed him to click up first. Andy has more resources collected, but investing into the tower rush, and not even into a single farm so far, might have taken a toll on his economy. We do at least have a couple of farms for WaRRioR. And as he's up, you're probably going to open with a workshop. And Andy's thoughts are, well, if I can tower rush, I can maybe force the game into a state where we're not going to get to those hand cannoneers. But I think that's probably what WaRRioR is able to do if he can do a main canal, clear the tower, boom a bit, then do the university and hand cannoneer. And Lons, hello alien. When was this live? This was live this afternoon at around 17 GMT, I think it started. 16 or 17. I casted one set then, but as I said, I had a doctor's appointment, so I had to run and come back and cast the Rex. Best of 5, has I? Best of 5. So Castle Age on the way for WaRRioR. You think Andy's gonna win? Well, we'll see. I think he has a nice lead, but Castle Age can often be a deciding factor. You know what? I think that WaRRioR doesn't even need a workshop. Yeah, he's maybe thinking of stone for a castle on Hussite wagons. I actually think he has the freedom to do a simple TC. I wonder if a TC here hits the tower. Like a TC would win versus a tower. That TC wins easily in that fight. More games of this awesome tournament? Yes, alien. Indeed. Houses and everything deleted. Vills will rush the tower. Nice usage of a gate from WaRRioR. And nice quick walls to keep the Vills away. And not going to let Andy rush that easily. Vills will be hitting the gate. He needs to get some more HP on it. There he goes. Probably needs to lock it. Always remember to lock your gates while they're under construction. You can do that these days. The gate goes down. And the Vills will press forward into the tower. Try and use Khmer garrison houses to send the Vills to take all the hunt and keep them safe. Maybe at some point. Don't know how highly Khmer will be picked for this map versus other ones. But that was something we saw on WaRRioR in the first cartographers when we used it. Villagers who went to the ponds on the outside as the Khmer's, they wouldn't dock, they'd do a mill in a house, and then if their Vills were raided, they'd hop in the house. Alright, so there is the castle, and I guess this has to be Hussite wagons for WaRRioR. I'm still worried about the Civ matchup, Inca versus Bohemians. So workshop and then a mangonel to deal with the tower. As the Vills will start moving over to the gold. I was playing the team games. I have been doing a couple late night community game sessions recently. I'll try to do more of them during the week. I only have so much time. Oh, the Hussite wagon could stand in front of the mangonel and block the tower fire. Or to stand there, sit there, stay in front of it, protect it, work as an offensive line. But Andy just about up to the castle age, but the tower mostly taken out by the time he reaches up. And one mangonel shot will finish it off. Gets more HP in the castle age, but still loses to the mangonel. And now it looks like Eagle plus what? Gonna have to be monks for Andy with redemption. And then a town center for Andy down in the food district. He's got archers everywhere. So the Hussite wagons will have to fend off the archers, maybe eventually give WaRRioR the ability to buy one more round of stone. And then do a TC in the back on a wood line. Yeah, there he goes. TC in the back on a wood line, securing wood. Deletes the walls to get out there faster. There go the Vills. But yeah, Andy will have a lot of free food down here now, and maybe we can try to avoid adding in farms. Still has not even done horse collars, not done a single farm. I always feel like whenever I do that and I get super greedy, it's a mistake, and it's good to have even just a couple farms, so you have some gradual transition in your eco. Even if you're hunting elephants, you have that big, you know how when you play the Dark Age, you need to force drop the food to keep your Vills running? It's the same thing in the Castle Age. The farms give you a bit more of a consistent drop-off. Another monastery going up for WaRRioR, as the TC is in the back. Oh, he might have right-clicked near the tower instead of on the tower? Where's the mangonel going? Oh no, WaRRioR, your mangonel pathed into the tower to shoot the outpost. Where was it when you right-clicked? Or this was the shortest path and he hasn't realized, oh no. He'll lose the mangonel for free. Will he at least destroy the outpost? 6 HP, will he get the shot off? No, he won't. Oh no. Oh no. Elo might... No, that's true, there is an Elo difference. But, I mean, WaRRioR, he's only down by 3 Vills. Has only 1,000 resources. Could be much worse. He'll destroy the outposts, has the Hussite wagons going. And I still have that feeling that once you get to hand cannoneers, the Inca struggle mightily. Especially like a hand cannoneer Hussite wagon combo, where even then, the Inca trying to go Arbalest doesn't stop you. Yeah, I feel like WaRRior's probably a bit higher than 2050, though. And monks here, does Andy have redemption? Yes, he does have redemption. Does WaRRior have devotion? No, he is not devoted. I'm gonna try to get the Vil. Or no, he's just gonna run away from the monks. Just gonna run away from the monks. And Andy then will take that hill with the workshop. These wagons 0.8 speed, the monks 0.7 speed. They do indeed lack fervor as the Inca. So slower, not gonna be able to catch the Hussite wagons, and WaRRioR needs to make sure he can run. And he's gonna do a castle. Okay, castle for him there. And ooh, conversions on the Hussite wagons, conversions on the Hussite wagons. Oh no, is this a doubt castle? This might be a doubt castle. Oh no. Probably should have left the wagons behind. No. Oh, and Andy will do a castle right there. Yeah, WaRRioR deletes it. Now he's down by 13 Vils and has to worry about a Mangonel on the hill besieging his TC. Buying stone. He almost has enough stone for another castle. He lost too much. He's gonna do the castle behind the TC. He's gonna yellow more Vils to do this castle. Oh, the archers are there to pick them off even. Hussite wagon's missing everything. As my eyes are drying out. And there we go. Castle is up. Hello, sirs, how you doing? There's something about FreakinAndy you've enjoyed? He does play some interesting games. Now we should have a wheelbarrow on the way from Andy. Oop, Bodkin. I'll disappear. Zero military, really. Here are a couple of monasteries in the back. And the TC shall go down. Feudal archers dominating. Ah, that's true. Feudal archers, feudal towers. At least the castle getting some hits on monks. Monks want to convert the house. Remember, the redemption monk is the best siege unit in the game. House in the middle, they can be deleted and then archers can get in. Harass those farmers, these farmers. This is a castle up there, but Andy's up to imp. So up to imp, he'll get the trebs popping and then try to drop that castle as fast as he can. Also up to imp first with more TCs. He's feeling like he's in a great position. Someone asking if Andy's going to win? Now I think it's pretty safe to say that. Although, to be fair, his castle architecture is nothing to compare to the Bohemian architecture. As we're so fond of saying, F-tier Inca castle. And, oh, thank you very much for using your Prime sub, sirs. Thank you very much. This is the worst castle. Like, look at the size difference. This thing's so small and puny compared to the large and imposing Bohemian castle. This one will still win the Treb War. The weather, that's true, the weather looks nicer. It's a bright sunny day over here. It's maybe cold and rainy on this one. And Saska2012, thank you for the follow. The weather's nicer. It's a bright sunny day to make up for how sad they must be to be embarrassed by their architecture. I mean, it's not even fast. It's skinnier than the Bohemian castle. Like, look at the base. This one barely even fills the selection box. This one overflows it. And boosted. Thank you for the follow. This will be a castle drop on a TC. There's that university on the way up. We'll have to see at least some chemistry. I'll see if he says GG when Andy hits imp first. As Andy twice the Vils. And even crossbow raids, he's not noticing the garrison. The TC! Oh, the poor crossbows. Here's imp. Oh, WaRRioR's up, and he's going to call the GG. So Andy takes a 2-0 lead. And we'll have 26 to 15 KD. Better eco. And be on the verge of advancing to the winner round. Yeah, WaRRioR going to need a reverse sweep to pull this off. Also winning with the Inca. pretty healthy for if you don't think the Inca are a good civ and don't want to save them for later rounds. I didn't do the scoreboard earlier, so that's 2-0 for Andy. 1 game 1, and now also has 1 game number 2 on Zimbabwe. Right. And what will game 3 be? Yep, wrong set. Or, oh gosh, the name's so long I can't tell what game 3 is. Oh, it'll be Sardis. It'll be Sardis. I had to add another resource to AoE2. What would it be? I have no idea. I'm good with 4. Okay, draft a random civ. They can use every civ once at any point during the tournament, and once they use it, they can't use it again. And so this is the first round, so they have all their civs available, aside from the ones they just played in the previous 2 games. So we'll have the Mouflon push from Andy. So Tatars versus Portuguese. No Cumans here. No Goths. Tatars, Portuguese. Heavy Cav Archer, probably something the Portuguese deal with if they want to go gunpowder heavy. Let's see if either player makes a play for that middle trade workshop. Again, the trade workshop gives you a ton of resources while you hold it. The outposts here also swap player control. If you go near them, you'll control the outpost and then get line of sight. Of course, your opponent then can steal it. And of course, you start protected or enclosed by, imprisoned perhaps, by a fortified wall. The 6 times the wall total HP between the 2 of them, 3,000 each tile. Can you delete the outpost? I don't think so. Pretty sure you can't. I'm not entirely sure. Let me also get one more refill of my water so I can stay hydrated. Who knows how long Sardis lasts? I might need a lot of hydration. Hello, Jacob. Good evening. Game's been a lot of fun. I definitely recommend checking out the very first game we casted today. Masty came up with one heck of a strategy. Maybe he went around saying he was watching games to grab strategies because he had a strategy no one else used, and he just wanted to debate running into thinking it was going to be something standard when it wasn't. Pee in the bottom. No, I have a water down here to refill it. No, not that desperate. It's not that kind of stream. Golden Stream is a map. It doesn't describe the streamer. So, mouflons. What is a mouflon anyway? Am I even saying that right? I'd never heard of this animal before. Before I saw it added. All to debate running. The boar comes in, he'll shoot that. Well, just leaving the mouflon there. There he goes. The mountain behind it. Right, so once you get to in the feudal age, you can think about doing military units to fight the wall. Whenever you first look at this map, you think, oh, I'll make one of these military units from the mercenary camp, and I'll attack the wall, but that backfires because they do 1 damage and it takes 3,000 hits. It's a wild ship native to Cyprus. So that explains why it's in the Greek-themed map. Where is Sardis located? Where is the city of Sardis located? Is that in Cyprus or is that somewhere else? It is thought to be the ancestor of all modern domestic sheep breeds. Ooh, okay. It's in Turkey and Azerbaijan. Okay. 3,000 hits, balanced. Very balanced, 3,000 hits on both sides. That's why the Kumans are imbalanced. They can ram it down in feudal. Looks like it's set in Turkey. Okay. We'll trust the chat that we need to play Turks here. Could see a Turks mirror. I mean, they don't feel like the worst fit for this map. You maybe have your light cav to control the middle for the trade workshop, Janissaries on FC and do a unique unit here. And then good fast int potential to treb and control it. We've also seen booming approaches, but it feels like the trade workshop is worth more than a boom. Ram needs more than 75 hits. I don't know how many it needs, but it's definitely fewer than 3,000. It's definitely fewer than 3,000. So mining camp going up for WaRRioR. We're reading about Janissaries. They are the first army with gunpowder, the main weapon of any army. Very innovative. That's why they were a Castle Age unique unit. And remember the days when Castle Age gunpowder was reserved to very few unique units? Oh, those were the days. Now you just have hand cannoneers. You have slingers, which are basically gunpowder units, just of a different nature, considering their attack bonus. And oh boy, is Andy attacking a wall segment that actually will let him out, or is this double layer walled? I don't think he actually can get out if he attacks here because of this wall behind it. Anyway, Andy up to feudal. And just because his architecture looks like the Tatars does not mean he can do a feudal age siege workshop. He'll have to wait to castle for that. You can also siege tower to hop out, and that's what we see sometimes, the siege tower, especially with the units you make in the mercenary camp. Then to head to the workshop in the middle. Bombard cannon as well, biggest bombard cannons in history used against Byzantines. Byzantines defended amazingly despite being heavily outgunned. Eventually were defeated. Feudal age on the way for WaRRioR. He'll be up not too far behind Andy. Both players going for fast castles. Market and Blacksmith will go up for WaRRioR. Needs a tiny bit of wood. Finding a good position from them. So a bit slower getting the vills in position to build that. Definitely not quite on time. Buildings get extra HP for the Byzantines. Yes, they do. They have a victors and vanquished scenario now where you can fight for Constantinople. That was originally one of the custom campaigns. I played that years ago on my YouTube channel. It was a very pretty map that Philadelphia had made. So we'll have Castle Age on the way also from WaRRioR. Does the Kuman Feudal Siege Workshop count as a unique building towards Castle Age? Alien will again confirm yes. He said yes last time, and I believed him. And so Horse Collar on the way for WaRRioR, Double Bit Axe on the way for Andy. Already have Double Bit Axe. Morning, Elsie River. Good morning to you. It is morning. It is 8:30 p.m. at night for me. So we'll see if WaRRioR can extend this set, or if this will be our last game. We had 3 sets to cast, and this is potentially the end of it. A rather quick 3 sets. This is only maybe about 3.5 hours so far we've been streaming. Yeah, go double check age. Go double check for us. Well, you could also double check by opening the game and testing it. That works too. And you know what? Capture age should tell us because it gives us the indicator for the age up building. So we could just use our minds and our eyes and pay attention next time. Late night gaming. Hello, Anthony. They defended 80k soldiers with something like 10k 45 days. So Castle Age, no one's gone for the middle yet. Andy will do a double TC boom. And he will do Bowsaw. I have a town center coming up for WaRRioR. Is this live? It is not live, no. These are recs. They were played earlier today. We had a lot of simultaneous recs, so I'm casting them all tonight. This map is awesome. This is what you imagine is Stronghold. Yeah, this map has been fun. I like how we have so many different ways of putting walls on maps. And I'm glad that we can have the clown tournaments, because I feel like this is very different than like the Fire Galley small pond hybrid maps that we see in a lot of other tournaments. I think there's a lot more creativity here. I know I made the maps for was it TTL 4, and by the end I'd casted so many in the Bronze League that I couldn't keep casting the Platinum. It was the same Fire Galleys and the same civs over and over. But I think this tournament has a good refreshing setup of settings for us. Stonewalls and Maybe we should have added Arena to this map pool. Casting late hour. Yeah, that's what Slam's stream always does for me. I see him play in Black Forest, I just turn him on, listen to his lumberjacks, chop those trees. That's what I do if I wake up in the middle of the night and need to sleep. So I also appreciate everyone who's supporting and subbing or using your Prime sub at this hour too. It's nice to get some support whenever we stream. Whether it's those Aussie games we cast in the morning, or the more standard time, trying to hit the Europe plus American time zone, or late at night for us. I guess mostly Americans here now. Tournaments are really different from each other, yeah. Oh, thank you for gifting a sub to Boosted. Thank you, Smittum. Yeah. Yo and MBL, I didn't get to see that. But what I was told was that Yo and ACCM played played Hyper Random, and it lasted so long that Yo and MBL played Hyper Random, and it lasted so long that they had to agree to continue their set tomorrow because they ran out of time to play. So the first one through the wall will be WaRRioR with the castle and with some Portuguese organ guns. He will head to the trade workshop in the middle. He doesn't find it right away, but he'll head towards it. Still awake in London. Okay, well at least that's only 5 hours and not 6 hours. And he missed the workshop entirely, so he needs to spread out and try to find it. They wear each other out so bad they'll continue tomorrow. Okay, the monk will grab it, They played 2 games each over an hour. That sounds epic. Oh, Monk, grab the workshop, WaRRioR. All these players, they have so much to micro, they don't even bother grabbing the workshop. I hope he knows what the workshop does. I hope he knows what it is. You can see it on the mini-map. Oh, please grab it. Yo has class. I mean, wasn't it much later for Yo than for MBL? I feel like Yo would be the time-crunched one. But I guess he's used to staying up in the middle of the night. There's a wheelbarrow on the way. Oh my gosh, WaRRioR. It's right there for you, the workshop. It's right there. No. The games with Australians lag heaps. Hey, Masty made it work. He won the that Australian tournament, Division 1. Not Division 0, but Division 1, despite all the lag. So if he can do it, anyone can. Talk to him at the airport after the garrison. Did they have a smoking lounge at the airport? I imagine if he and ACCM need to stay at the airport for a while, it could be rather inconvenient for them. How much does that workshop give you? 0 if you don't take it. But it's more every age, from like Dark to Feudal to Castle to Imp. And it is actually, hold on, let me, Turs messaged me. What am I saying? Messaged me. He said it is Castle Age, it is worth 12.2 villagers. And these are the values that Turs gave me. Dark Age, 5.4, Feudal Age, 8.1, Castle Age, 12.2, and Imperial Age, 18.2 villagers. So, WaRRioR could have had for the past 5 minutes an extra 12 villagers. Emailed. Yeah, at least it's better than the Microsoft product like Teams. Yeah, it's a Victoria on steroids, and it doesn't cost you pop space. Yeah, basically it's like a free Victoria. Now, will he finally get it? It's been in his line of sight forever. He's up to Imp. He could have had so much more eco. If he loses this game, and it's a close, he's down by 40 Vils. He could have, this could have been so much better. Andy's just booming. Now, I don't know if Andy knows what this does either, but he's booming away. We saw Bruh win a game despite not knowing what the map does. In that Negome where he went forward with his Drush only to run into a TC. And then kept scouting only to run into more TCs. Okay, so Andy trying to break himself a hole in the wall so he can get out. Also let WaRRioR in. WaRRioR doing a forward castle, trying to be Imp faster. Monastery going up for WaRRioR. Does Andy have vision of the workshop? He does not. No, he does not have vision of it. It's not the workshop. Hold on. There we go. He does not have vision of it, so he won't be able to see that WaRRioR has it. Monastery up. My only experience using Teams is that I had to do a couple of meetings with Nilly on Teams. And the logging in and setting it up process was annoying. I'd much rather just use Discord. You ever ransack the town left that untouched for some reason? I mean, they must have been doing the same thing that WaRRioR did, just didn't bother with it, just walked past, just passing. So block printing redemption, but I worry about that Vil difference, down 64 to 112. He's down by over 3,000 resources despite having the trade workshop. And we does give him another, what, 18 Vils? But that still doesn't come anywhere close to making the difference up. Yeah, he doesn't. I don't know if does he get a message if it's claimed. That I don't know. Probably not. You also do get the outposts in the middle if you get next to them. So we'll see Andy. Oh, do you permanently keep the outposts? Do they not change ownership? If they don't change ownership, that's actually really awful if you can't get to the middle. Now, that's a question. Do these change ownership? So the Trebs are popping, going for the workshop. Trying to take that out before Mangonels can come to counter the organ guns. And, ooh, okay, look at that. The mercenary hoplite, look at how huge that shield is. Look at the face on the shield. He really needs to have Doubt's face on the shield. Oh, that should be a cheat code. Doubt faces on the hoplite shields. And anywhere there's a face in AoE2, we should replace it with Doubt's face. Okay, so organ gun pressure. Massacring a few Vils from Andy. And he won't have a Mangonel defense with his workshop going down. But he has a lot of Vils. Scores are still really close. Okay, maybe a 30 Vil difference then. WaRRioR does have that workshop in the middle. The res collected still expanding for Andy. He's gonna need a way to deal with the organ guns, but ballistics, husbandry, ring archer armor all on the way. And he's adding in archery ranges in the back. He does not have silk armor yet. That could help. Might even need to be devoted. Yeah, he doesn't have devotion yet. Yeah, Tatars, they're not that great against monks. They lack faith and they lack heresy. They only have devotion. Kind of risky not to have military. Risky indeed. As the push is coming in from WaRRioR, will this be enough? The score is within 100. WaRRioR could take the score lead if he can treb something really quick. Look at the idle villagers there. And if only WaRRioR had like flaming camels to explode on them, maybe converted ones. Okay, WaRRioR takes the score lead. He's pushing, but here comes some cav archers. Andy needs heavy cav archers still needs silk armor, but he'll do what he can to fight off the organ guns and stall out the push. His base is kind of split in half, and the upper half contains one villager. The villas don't have much room down here, and remember, villagers cannot attack the wall. You need siege to attack, or you need a military unit to attack the wall. Unless Andy does a ram, he's going to be trapped inside of his own walls. Getting to the middle for wood could be nice. He's trying to add in more more ranges for cav archers. Trying to get the cav archers forward. He's almost at the point where he can do heavy cav archer. is selling food, and he's doing sappers. Oh my gosh, he's doing sappers. He has enough vills. He's gonna YOLO them forward. He's gonna YOLO the vills forward and try to fight the organ guns, and it's working. Do organ guns take bonus damage from vills anywhere? Is sappers bonus against siege? No? They don't have the ram armor class, do they? No, I don't think sappers does anything here. No, it doesn't. Alright, Andy, that was not the right use of sappers, but the organ guns are outside now, mostly because of the cav archers. I think the villagers did a meat shield there. Blacksmith converted his clutch if Andy doesn't realize in time. Well, he'll realize now. Now sappers will pay off. He can destroy that blacksmith. Now it'll pay off. He can attack the trebuchet. They have rams, so extra attack against rams helps. Hello, Anthony. Oh, and Andy got control of the workshop. WaRRioR, take your organ gun, go grab the workshop back. Don't let Andy have that. Andy now has an extra 20 vills after all the damage you just did to him, as he's taking a huge score lead. There he goes, he gets it back, but maybe a bit too little too late. Oh, Andy getting that workshop there. That was horrible. Now heavy cav archers in. Yeah, and as I said at the start, I don't know how Portuguese fight heavy cav archers. And I think Andy has this now. He has his vills forward. For a second there, I thought WaRRioR might be able to do it, but didn't quite have enough. If he had had that workshop the entire time, I bet he wins the game. But now it's maybe too little too late. The cav archers will probably just ignore the castle and run in. Yeah, they'll ignore that and run in. And ooh, the gold runs out. That'll be a lot of vills for WaRRioR. Oh gosh, he has exposed eco everywhere, and he's not running in. He's just chilling by the castle. He's gonna run out. Oh, he should have ran in there. Okay, the game would be over had he ran in, but it might be over anyway. Yeah, 61 villagers dead in a mostly suicide run from Andy, but it worked for him. That's why he overboomed, so he could sacrifice the vills. Sometimes you overboom to delete vills, sometimes you overboom to yeet vills. And the booze, hello to booze, how you doing? Hope you had some good math books to read recently. Onager time for WaRRioR, but he does not have control of that workshop anymore. And heavy cav archers should be able to take that out. There they go. And now Andy, once he mines enough stone, can do a castle here. Alright, we have a 3-day weekend. Nice. Where's the water at? I have water in this bottle. Now let's make an onager splash on those villagers. Continues trying to damage the cav archers. And light cav on the way. There goes down. And Trebs, ooh, Trebs on both sides. One from the west, one from the east, going for the castle. Look at that. Look at that. 1, 2 Trebs, both going for it. Oh, actually, I have to be cognizant if the webcam blocks the chat messages. So there's WaRRioR with the GG, and Andy wins 3-0. Ooh, 9. We're even the KD advantage there. But not taking the trade workshop. Maybe he just went forward and thought he had it, but... almost there. He had a great push. I'm kind of surprised that Andy managed to hold on with the vills. But the organ guns just didn't kill them fast enough with the cav archers behind them. And, well, at least WaRRioR, he has another round. He's not eliminated. He still has the elimination matches next week. Oh yeah, there's a capital A in Anthony's name. The X is capital. So GG's. Thank you all for watching our wonderful late night stream. And I'm gonna end things now, and we'll see you. Let me check what the schedule is for tomorrow. I take things one day at a time. Maybe there's hyper random. Maybe there's more of this. If they conflict, maybe I just do Rex after hyper random again tomorrow. Oh, there's All's draft going on right now. Go watch that. So there's some Amigo Warriors, Tato, and Viper. There's Valessa, Vinch, and hyper random. I don't see Stronghold Frenzy until 20 GMT. We got Dobbs and Ozone. So we'll see. I might just go on for that. We also have some Doubt, Ganji, Amigo Wars. See. I'll see what time I'm able to start streaming tomorrow. And maybe I'll do the Stronghold Frenzy and then community games after that. But anyway, thank you, Jabekins, for the follow and welcome to the stream. So thank you everyone for watching. Love you all. Thank you all also for the subs and the support. It helps us keep the promo going, and all the subs mean I don't need to play ads. I hate ads. So, all right.